Like a glove. And it worked. Okay, cool. We're live. And we're also recording. What are we recording? Oh, the ADLR Podcast. With your host, the one and only Tony. Oh, we got Randall making sure the internet's still working on his phone. And Brian is in the middle of a Destiny mission because shit happens, right? So here we are. Live from Nessus? What planet are you on?
The Tangled Shore.
All right, that's somewhere I have no idea where that thing is, I think, right? Ain't nobody know. Okay, hey, it's just a simple question. Oh, let me stand up straight. Let me fill up this frame for you real quick, right? Oh, anywho, we're here. Post Deathloop, which I'll be going into details later. What else we got on the agenda today? I forgot we watched The Guilty random until you put it on there.
The what?
The Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal.
The porn? What is that?
Yeah. So what happens is Gyllenhaal whips out his jack, and then a good hour and a half of greatness.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's not the movie I saw.
You were right next to me when we were watching it, so you tell me who's a liar, me or him, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Did you end up listening to Lil Nas's album, Brian? Because that came out and I completely forgot until today.
I saw it was on there. I was like, I'll listen to it, and then I forgot. But I heard one of the songs.
Scoop. Oh. Because right now Scoop is Scoop featuring Doja Cat.
Oh.
And that's what's getting buzzed. I haven't heard it yet, but we'll see once I listen to it. Anywho, we got some stuff to talk about today. Randall, I thought you said you saw the Mitchells versus the Machines. Or was that Kelsey?
I said I saw it. But I've never reviewed it.
Oh, okay. So I'm like, I saw this on here. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's already been reviewed. But we're going to take your take on this, all right? But we'll get to all that too.
What, Kelsey say he saw it?
I think he reviewed it on here.
He did?
If I'm not mistaken, I can look it up, though. Watch. Let me see.
I had forgot that I watched it until you mentioned it.
And that's fine. That's all well and good, Randall, you know? But I need to, confirm that I'm not a fucking piece of shit liar, right?
Lying would imply that you're telling the wrongful information intentionally.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. I'm on this platform, and everything I say needs to be taken seriously, right?
But if you're misinformed, doesn't mean that you're a liar.
I don't know. I think it's all the same thing, Randall. Oh, search. Idiot. Search across your channel. Mitchell's? Is that it? No. Machines. No videos, right? Like, it doesn't search through the tags either? Or trash. I'll have to look into it. I could have sworn he did. Maybe if I go to the channel. Yeah, my channel. And then search machine. Yep. Episode 141, where we talked about when we talked about the Bad Batch as well.
I wasn't there for that one, right?
Let's take a look. Let's watch my old stuff together. I'm gonna mute it so we don't. Yeah, you were not there, Ryan. But that's when we talked about it, episode 141. If you guys want to go back and listen to it, /watch it, / both at the same time, and make sure to hit like and subscribe and hit that bell, right? Rand, I think I got all of it, right? What?
Okay.
I said I think I got all of it, right?
All of what?
The plugs I need for YouTube now. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Comment below.
And comment below. Thank you. See,
like, subscribe, and share.
Oh, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button, and comment below.
Give me all of your
But you have to tell them why to hit the notification so that they can get all your latest content.
And make sure to hit
as it comes out.
Yeah, as they come out. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the marketing we need, right?
I mean, if that's what you want to do.
I just did it. We just did it live, Randall.
I mean,
and it's going to be in the show.
I'm not.
Every video you guys like, even if I don't know to notifications, I'm gonna giggle. So if you want to see me, you want to feel me giggle throughout the rest of my day, just like every video on the channel.
Feel you giggle?
Yeah, because they're gonna know that once they click, I'm gonna giggle.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Anywho, I mean, I'm gonna use that opportunity to transition. Well, I want Brian to join me on this when he finishes
podcast
that.
Sponsored by
Damn it, what was the joke you said?
I don't know.
Yes,
the dog thing. The toes.
You sucking dog toes?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's not something to be sponsored by.
We're sponsored by Doggy Toes.
Oh, Doggy Toes.
Yeah,
okay.
we're not doing yours, Randall.
Okay.
That's after hours.
All right.
We're just doing Doggy Toes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're asking what Doggy Toes is, there you are.
Let me look up and see if there's something called Doggy Toes.
Yeah, that might be some like porn site or something.
So really, come on, man.
I'm not saying for dogs. It's just people doing it exclusively in doggy, right?
Dogs gotta get off.
That's true. He says no.
I'm not touching it.
You don't need to touch anything, Randall.
Maybe they don't want to touch you.
Oh, that's messed up. Let me move this over. Make him in. Put him in the frame. Oh, this is gonna be a
Put him in a coffin.
Wild ass episode.
What?
Anyway, the giggling transition. Thank you, Brian, for that. I am going to talk about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The series finale came out. I'm not going to spoil it. It's just a small thanks, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, for being awesome for 9 seasons, and then it's
How many
over.
episodes?
Like 10, right? Oh, hold on. Let me confirm. Let me tell you exactly how many, right? 9 episodes. The 9th one's a 2-parter. So 10, 9, however you want to say it.
This jam.
All right. And that's about it. It was out. This season was a typical like end of the show kind of season where all the like guest members come back to make one appearance, right? Like all your favorite side characters come just to make one more, hey, man, it's been great. Bye, kind of thing. I think there's one new character in there, and we'll appreciate it because we scrubs. So, but I'll leave that. I'm not spoiling it. Just giving you a little carrot, Brian. That's all. Anywho, funny as shit. Still, the ending was bittersweet because it was handled really well. But again, it's over. So I don't know. It's more of it. It was more of the same, but only 10 episodes, and they had to write the show out in some way, and they did it in Brooklyn Nine-Nine fashion. So
to play us out.
Yeah, to play us out, and that's about it. What does that even mean? There are no words there. Did you find words, Randall? Nothing that's doggy toes.
It's just pictures of different parts of the paw.
Okay. I mean, what else were we expecting, right?
Where's the good boy?
Huh?
What part is that? On the dog. Where's the good boy?
Yeah, where is that at, Randall?
There's no good boy. But there's a part on the paw called digital pad. Yeah.
Digital pad?
Yes.
Are these androids the entire time?
It's a legit part of the paw.
Oh. Okay.
So the bottom part is called carpal pad. Carpal pad. And then there's metacarpal pad.
Uh-huh.
And then the one in the middle is called digital pad. I don't know why it's called digital, like it's not real. But
what if they've been never? That's why we like them so much. They're not really real, right?
That would definitely surprise me.
Okay. Anywho,
then who made them?
Welcome to our new show.
The chicken or the egg?
Who made them? Hosted by Randall Green. Randall Dag Green.
Randall Dog Green. Dog Nabbit is the name of the show.
There we go. Randall.
Dog Nabbit.
It writes itself, to be honest, Randall. So, what are you thinking? Maybe on True TV? Or are you thinking
True TV?
Like where they put all the murder cases and shit, right? Like that's what we're looking for, right?
Oh. What does that have to do with murder?
Randall, it's up to
Because
you.
we're murdering the fucking show
Yeah.
scene. I don't know. I don't know if it was a podcast or not. So everything.
The
came in my
ratings.
head at once.
We're murdering the ratings, the on-screen ratings, Randall. What do you?
Okay.
You gotta like believe in it, you know.
Believe it.
But anyhow, that's a small. Hey, Brooklyn Nine-Nine series finale's out. It was more Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Decent way to go out. Do I recommend it? Yes. If you watched 8 seasons of the show, yes, watch 9 more episodes for them to wrap it up.
Let that gavel up, B.
Yeah. So it's a nice little another check mark on my backlog, Randall. You know what I'm saying? We're done with another show. You know what I'm saying?
How many seasons was it?
8 full ones, I think, and then this 9th one only had 10 episodes. 9 episodes, whatever you want to call it. Because the last episode was like a 2-part. Anywho.
So it's done?
Yeah.
So was the conclusion worth it?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying, Randall, for the past like 10 minutes. Like they wrote it out in 9/9 fashion.
So you wouldn't have changed nothing. It was like flawless.
What does that mean, flawless? As in like the best TV show ever, or is the
No,
best
not compared
Brooklyn
to others, but
Nine-Nine?
like the way they ended it, you think that it couldn't have been done any better. That they took the best route.
Pretty much, because that's. I don't want to spoil how they did it, but I'm like, this is the stuff we look forward to every season. They ended it that way, so and that's kind of like a huge fucking tell of what the last episode is. But good thing Brian's still making sure he's getting all the Destiny gear.
I heard what you said, but I don't know how that's telling. So
When you see it, so next week you'll probably talk about it. That's it on that. You still in the mission, Brian?
Yep.
Jesus Christ! Then hey, look, we can move forward. Randall, we can talk about the guilty, right?
I mean, I can talk about anything. I can talk and play this shit because it's just that I'm lost. So I got to the point where I'm just dying hilariously. And now it's like navigate to find things. And you know how I am with navigation. If there's not a body to shoot, where am I going?
Yeah, right. I can see that. What happened, Randall? Why are you looking at him like that?
His wall looks like he took something down.
No, remember, he just zoomed in.
It's probably because I'm usually like this or something. I don't know. I didn't take anything down.
You said he just moved in?
He zoomed.
Oh.
Where'd you get
Brandon
moved
thought
from?
you just dropped the biggest bomb.
Yeah. You said he moved in?
Yeah, like I
thought
like he had his own spot or something like that.
Yeah, he lives in Playboy Mansion.
Okay. Didn't you have more than one picture behind you?
At one point, but it's been years since I've had that. I moved everything to the wall on my right. The 2 pictures of 2 people bodying Superman and then Mega Man are over on my right. This way.
He did that a while back, man. How long is it since you've looked away from your phone onto the screen? These like
Diablo.
20 episodes, right? Like
I don't know why it looks so empty.
I mean, he's
the
gonna
back wall.
I mean, and maybe because now when he asked us about filling in the background, now you're looking in the background.
What's that thing you guys suggested?
The galaxy thing? That's something that's been popular I've seen on TikTok. Is like it fills up the room with like the night sky and stars and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've always wanted something like that, but I never got it.
I don't know if it's just is it just the roof, the ceiling, or is it all the walls? I don't remember.
It depends on how big it throws it. I wanted it to, I don't know if I want like the whole room.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't look too far into it. I saw 2 of them. One of them was like, yo, it's the best. And people are like, yo, it barely covers shit. And then there's the one that's cheaper. But I want to see if I want stars more than just like aurora lights, like the hippie space looking ones. So I don't know if that one does both or not.
I mean, you could also just get a regular projector, right?
That's expensive.
Depends on what projector. Like, if all you're gonna use it for, no, not all of them are expensive. If you're just gonna use it to put some background shit on your wall, you can get a cheap projector and just.
But
I'm not gonna put it in the wall. I'm aim it like up. I want if I do this, everything around me is just gonna be space.
Yeah, you can do that with a projector.
That's probably.
But
what are you saying, Randall?
Don't the ones that at least I thought the ones that I was looking at, like they move. They don't move like. It's not like it's really fast. It's like it gradually moves, like it's like as if you're really looking at the sky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you could play a video like that on a projector.
You really trying to sell this projector thing, huh?
That's great, Randall.
Okay. I don't know if that's it's going to give you what you're looking for.
I'm sure that what he's talking about is better suited for what he wants. I just want to know if he wanted a I don't know how much that costs in any way, but is that a sigh of I'm finished here, or is that a sigh of
No,
like,
they put me in a room right before a boss, and that room was doing damage over time, and my game was loading in, and I died before I saw him.
oh nice.
I had to fight this boss that we went underground, and when I went underground, he does big ass swings, and I couldn't do anything because he was just hiding there, and I died.
Gotcha. Is there like
So
a
that's pretty
lesson
fun.
learned here, or are you just gonna like, right? Like, don't do Destiny before airing, right?
I mean, the lesson learned is look up what the fuck this is before just doing it just to get a repeater rifle.
A repeater?
Yeah, just a repeater.
Just here,
Here.
repeat. Anyway, the guilty, Randall, because Brian's really guilty of just slacking off right now. So what was Jake Gyllenhaal guilty of?
So there's a couple of movies that fit this style.
Yeah.
What is that dude's name?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He played
He played what? A Nintendo 64? Like, what did he play?
he was in Minority Report with Tom Cruise. He played the detective.
Oof. You said Minority Report, and the first thing I thought it was either Tom Cruise or what's
his
the
name?
what's the reboot one's name? Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said the one.
What was the
Whoa,
name?
hold on. You threw me for a loop. You said Minority Report, and then you said Tom Cruise.
I said he played in Minority Report with Tom Cruise. He played as a detective. Colin Farrell was in Minority Report.
I thought he was the lead in the remake.
In the remake.
Am I fucking this up? Total Recall. Sorry.
What the heck?
Sorry,
yeah. He was the lead in. He was the
lead in Total Recall remake.
yeah.
Sorry, I crossed them together. Go ahead. You throwing me out for a loop.
But I've said all of that to say he was in the movie with what was it called? Was it called Phone Booth?
Yeah, the one where you can't leave because there's a sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have that movie, and then I feel like there's another movie that I'm missing.
Are you comparing Phone Booth to The Guilty? Because I don't agree already.
I'm talking about movies where an actor or actress is in one location the entire movie.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But yet they're still able to like make the movie intense, even though
10 Cloverfield Lane.
10 Cloverfield Lane. I feel like this is another one though.
You are muted, Brian.
I mean, the movie with Jamie Foxx where he's stuck in the gas station store or something.
Oh, I didn't see that one. What was
That's
that?
an old one. I know you're talking
it's a really
about.
old movie.
Holy shit! So they accidentally like rob a convenience store or something, and then he gets held up when he has like and he's got hostages and stuff, and he's trying to get out of there. It's a really old movie, actually. What does anyone know what the name of that one is? Let me look him up.
He was the one that held up the store?
Yeah.
No, he got held up in the store.
Oh, that was what it was. I'm sorry. Jamie Foxx.
It's not like a fully tense. It's kind of comedic movie, but they're in the store for most of the movie.
Yeah, they're in the store for the whole thing. That's not Collateral. What year, Brian? Like, I can't even looking at this. I can't even. It was before 2000s. Yeah, let me see. Dreamgirls, The Soloist, Law. It's not Law Abiding Citizen. Was it before Law Abiding Citizen?
Yeah.
No, it's not that movie.
No, I said before.
Oh, yeah.
Collateral.
Freaking out.
I'm hearing things.
Driven? No, that's an episode. Anything that ain't it. Played it himself. So I guess things that he wasn't himself. Breaking all the rules. Definitely ain't that. Held Up. That's probably it.
Is it?
Ray finds out her man Michael spent their house money on a classic car, so she dumps him, hitching around to Vegas for a flight home. A kid promptly steals Michael's car, leaving him at the Zip and Sip, a convenience store. 3 bumbling robbers promptly stage a holdup. 2 take off the cat. Yeah, it's called Held Up. It's 1999. It's a 90s movie. Yeah. And then the Hispanic guy on there. Yes, I remember all this. with Rosalind Sanchez. I forgot she was in that too. Yeah, it's called Held Up. Now that we went on that tirade, not even sure if that's the actual word here.
That doesn't really count though.
What do you mean?
So I decided to look up movies that the actor was in one location the entire movie.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but the first movie they mentioned was this movie called Buried.
Buried?
Yeah.
Who's in that?
Ryan Reynolds was the main character.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
Then another one was called Devil in 2010. I don't know what that was.
I think Free Fire counts.
What's that?
It's where like there's a bunch of people in like a warehouse and they're just literally just shooting at each other and
the whole movie.
I mean, sort of. There's times when they're like talking. It's you good?
That movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Allison Brie's in it. Some other movies, and they're there for different reasons because there's like a heist or something or like a deal or something that went down, and cops were there to break it and stuff, but they all got pinned down from each other, and then it's an interesting movie.
They mentioned Panic Room, but that was it was all in a house. But
you mean Green Room?
No, Panic Room.
Oh, okay.
It mentions Panic Room, but it was all in the house, but it wasn't in like. I guess the one location is the house.
Yeah, that counts.
I guess. Yeah,
that counts. I mean, and Gyllenhaal moved from room to room.
True.
It's one place.
Yeah.
The camera didn't have to move far, right?
The Invitation. See, none of the stuff I've seen. Oh, they mentioned Green Room.
Yeah, because Green Room was really good, and that just took place at that venue.
I've never heard of this.
You've never seen that?
No.
You go watch Green Room, but you have to like prepare yourself because there's some like gruesome stuff, like blood. It's bloody and people die.
It says a Nazi clubhouse.
Yeah, like it's because the people went there for. I don't know if it was there for them to perform because it's like an indie band and they're trying to make it big, and they go to this venue and then they go to perform and then shit goes sideways, and now they got to survive.
So it's a clubhouse owned by Nazis.
Yeah.
How did they not know that?
You'll see. You can watch the movie. That's all I can tell you now. That's something I highly recommend. Green Room was really good.
Yeah, I like it. And Imogen Poots is in it, and I think she's gorgeous.
Okay.
She's British, not in the movie, but in real life. Because movies aren't real life.
Some of them are. There's something about movies like that, man. Like it takes a lot of skill, I think, as far as like writing, and of course, there's a lot on the actors. But I think these types of movies are very interesting. The whole time I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was going to leave the station, but he never did.
Because he had a court hearing the next day, so he didn't want to really risk some bullshit happening.
Yeah.
Anywho, so it's main actor is Jake Gyllenhaal. He plays a cop who has been not sentenced, but like ordered to do 911 operator calls for like 6 months or something because he did something weird that he has a court case for the next day from the time you're watching the movie. So like movie starts, the next day he has a court hearing, but he's still working a shift for the operator call. Then he gets I think it starts off with just random calls that we're like, haha, that's funny or whatever. And then he gets a serious call from a woman that like crying and she needs help. And he now is trying to figure out what is up with this chick. Is she taken, abducted, or whatever the story is. And that main thread is what we follow throughout the movie. Also, like some calls with like his family and stuff. But that was, for me, the more interesting part was the main like, oh, what's happening to, her name was Emily? Is that what it was? Mm-hmm. Which is the lady who called. And you follow that. And that to me was like the high points where you're like, oh, what's happening next? Like it's like listening to one of those murder mystery podcasts kind of stuff, or the crime podcast that Janiana loves listening to. So like it's that part I'm like, I'm in. But then it was like him not doing any of it. Like the downtime, I'm like, move on, right?
This is Guilty or the Jake Gyllenhaal movie, or is that the same thing?
That's yes, is the answer to that question, bro.
Okay.
Because both of those things are yes. But it's pretty much that. Jake Gyllenhaal, again, one of those guys who commits. He knows how to emote from super fucking pissed off to losing his shit, crying, looking exhausted, frustrated. He can do it, and most it was him on screen. I think like 90% of this movie anyway. So I think he handled it well. Writing was fine. Supporting, there was not really much. Some of them supporting actors, I guess, would be like Emily and his boy that he asked for the favor on the thing. So like even the voice acting will be the supporting characters. The people on the other side of the phones, they did a great job. The dialogue seemed fluid and realistic. It wasn't.
What I like about movies like this is that it plays on your mental state. Like, because I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people say reading a book is better than watching a movie. Like if both came out, because your mind tends to always create more colorful situations. Like if it's like a monster or a serial killer or something like that, you think of the worst possible thing, which makes that person more fearful, versus when you see them on screen, a lot of times they don't live up to those expectations.
Yeah.
But I found myself like when he was on the phone with these different people, even in the beginning, even when he was talking to his boy, his partner, like he was telling him to go to the house, to check out the house. Like the whole time I was like fearful because it was like they did a good job.
Because you can't see what's happening. You're just as anxious as Gyllenhaal because all you can do is hopefully hear what's happening.
Yeah, and all you're doing is hearing what he's doing. You hearing him like rustle through the house, or like looking through stuff and like that. And you're hoping like there's no booby traps or some junk like that. Like
you're just hoping you don't hear a gunshot. Or something.
Yeah. So like you're on. At least I was on edge like most of the movie, especially like when things started to get more intense and like people are told to do things and then they deviate from that and it's like, no, you're not supposed to. So I thought
even he fell for that. Remember when he was like, only say yes or no questions, and then he's like, or answer with yes or no, and then he asks her a question that's like, fam, I can't give you a yes or no for that question.
Yeah, just like, who are you talking to? Oh Lord, that took his
And that to me, I think that's why I'm saying that's the high parts when he's on a call with the Emily arc, and then when it's like his own personal baggage, I'm like, it's fine. But I was gripped with the Emily stuff because I'm like, oh, what happens now, right?
Well, I was kind of gripped with his stuff too because, more so with the Emily situation because obviously that was like the highlight of the movie.
Yeah.
But I kept wanting to know what the heck he did.
But that's why I didn't like it because it was they would take too much downtime to not give us enough information. To move on. So like if you're taking this downtime, make it useful and then moving back, like balance between both of them. Like, oh, Emily calls, something good happens, progresses forward. If we're going back to Jake's, something should progress forward instead of maybe it just gave us more speculation instead of actual movement. Until obviously spoilers, he breaks down and we get the whole shebang, right?
Yeah.
But that's at the end of the movie, and that's after we get this resolution for what happened with Emily. So I don't know. That part, awesome. His part, I think could have been structured or edited differently, or like the pacing for his part, I think it could have been sped up a bit. But I don't know. I mean, if we're talking about recommendations, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely it was short too. It felt shorter, right? Like there's some pacing issues, but it doesn't feel like it overstayed, I guess.
Yeah.
Because once the resolution happens, it doesn't stay on. It stays on for a little bit after, but.
Yeah.
It doesn't like overstay its welcome.
Man.
Especially if you're into your like the people with crime podcasts and stuff. This is right up your alley.
This 10 Cloverfield Lane was such a good movie. Man.
You don't have to tell me, Randall. I bought it. Okay?
It like they like capitalized on so much and not trying to take away from the guilty, but it's like they had layers upon layers of good stuff. It was like, first of all, it's like you got all these people, not all these people, you got 3 people in one location. And you don't know what happened. So you got 3 people in a situation, you don't know exactly what happened because some stuff is not is not lining up. You don't know who's lying. So then if you introduce lying, then it's like somebody's life might be in danger because why are they lying?
Right.
When it's just the three of you. Then on top of it, it's the whole what's going on outside. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But then more information is given to you. Like, is this person lying or are they just kidnapping people?
Right.
And then when she finally escapes, you're like, yeah, this dude was lying the whole time until
he's
you
like,
find out
fuck, he wasn't lying.
He wasn't lying. Oh my God. And her reaction was so good because it was like the way they paced it, when she realized that he was telling the truth is when we realized he was telling the truth. So it was like in one huge swoop, we all was like, oh.
It was a fuck. Well, we could have been safe.
Yeah.
It was great.
But I mean, she had to get out of there because, I mean, he was a pedophile. Or, yeah.
But I mean, there's no younger. Yes. But safety, like you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, and you can put him in the acid. Like, right? They could have gotten rid of him and just stayed safe, right?
Didn't they try? Didn't he get acided a bit?
No, so like
it wasn't like a planned. Let's take him out. It was horrendous. It was not executed correctly.
So it was. It was like so. First of all, he had it out for the other guy, John Goodman. He had it out from the door because he's like, "Look, this extra dude is here, and I'm trying to do me."
Yeah,
and he just shoots the dude in the face with a revolver.
Yeah, sometimes it'd be like that when you're a revolver gang, Randall. It
Yo,
goes
when
off.
that jump happened, I was in the theater when it happened, when I saw it, and everybody's reaction, like, it's kind of like goes back to what we were talking about the other day about like
a theater experience.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't think nobody saw that coming. I definitely didn't see it coming.
I mean, didn't either. I laughed. That was my first reaction, though.
You laughed?
Because Brian, when he sees revolver and someone getting revolvered, that's just gonna be his. I mean, that's gonna be his tickle bone, right?
Because the conversation was so intense. I think the way they edited it was like, as the conversation got more intense, like they started arguing, like the sound got blurrier to the point where you couldn't hear what they were understand what they were saying
until the gunshot
went off. Yeah. Like what?
And they're in a close, so that bang echoed throughout the entire underground bunker he had there.
Yeah. But anyway.
So yeah, The Guilty. Now that we're talking about 10 Cloverfield Lane here.
Movies like that, like The Guilty, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Phone Booth. I think it takes a lot of skill to write movies like that.
Do you count a small town as one place? Because remember that in the Dark movie?
The radio show one. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Remember the one we saw that we were hanging on every word because he had a radio station?
Nah, I wouldn't count that because
that's a different level. That's
multiple places.
That's like a good. That's good world building because like we felt like we were part of that town. That's different than, right? I don't know. This is like I don't know.
I mean that movie has that same type of feeling though because it gives you just enough information for you to try to fill stuff in, and that junk messes with your mind because it's like they don't give you everything. I've said it so many times and I say it again. That conversation they had with that guy who was in the military,
when he was on the radio. Yeah.
Oh my God, man, that jump was sweet.
I was waiting for anything to come out of nowhere and kill a guy while listening. At that point, I'm like, somebody's dying. I don't know who it is, but someone's dying here.
With his story, it was more like I was entranced. I wanted to know what happened. With the old lady, that one, I was like, yo, talk to me from your door because I'm not going close.
Those are facts, actually, because she spoke in such a way where I'm like, she can turn into an alien right in front of us at any second. The way she was talking. And again, whatever they used to record the audio on that, it's and the editing, mastering, whatever, I was glued, man.
Yeah.
What was it called? Now you got me fucked up, right? Let me go look up what it was called because I want to give it its actual credit here.
I think that if I was a Hollywood director, those are the type of movies that I would make.
Oh, I already thought. I like how I bring up the document and right away I know the name of the movie. It's The Vast of Night.
Oh.
The hell's wrong with me?
If that movie didn't fall short with the ending, I would have been like game of the year, dude.
It made my top 10 last year.
Mine ass whale.
Oh, look at this, Randall. Don't you love Data? When it's look at this Data, Randall. 2019. The shit I watched 2020, not 2021.
I like Data, but I'm losing my respect for technology.
What the hell did you just say to me live on this fucking show, Randall?
I am.
What the hell does that mean?
It's not reliable, man.
Nothing's reliable.
Yeah, nothing's reliable. Life ain't reliable. People ain't reliable. Things aren't reliable.
Data's reliable.
Yeah, the data. What stores it, it's not gonna be.
That's my point.
Well, I mean, that's like memory, like your own memory. It's gonna go.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but it's a chance it will.
Eventually it will. I'm sure.
Hey, you gotta make sure you eat your
Sometimes
carrots.
I forget my name.
I
already noticed that my memory has started depleting.
Oh, has it?
Yeah. Like I used to be able to watch a movie and tell you what happened from beginning to end, beat for beat.
You used to do it live on this podcast, Randall.
Now I can't do that junk. Like with some movies, yes, but I used to be able to do it with everything. Anything I saw, it doesn't matter. If I saw it for the first time, I could tell you what happened from the beginning to end.
You probably just need to do some brain activity. Like there's some like brain tune-up activity so you can like make sure your memory's still like locked. Brain age, right? Everyone laughed at brain age, but that's actually like the actual things that can help your brain stay stimulated or whatever the case is.
Yeah. But yeah, like movies like that, if I was a Hollywood director, those are the type of movies I would probably I think they would be real fun for me to make, because I think movies like that, when you play on people's imagination and you allow them to fill in the holes, I think that junk is so much more impactful, because again, dude, like everybody's going to think of the worst possible thing.
Well, it all depends on breadcrumbs and the pacing. Like how small are the things you're giving them? Is it enough to be like, oh, I want more? And also how fast are you giving them? How you give that information? It's pacing and how, you know? So, I mean, some people do it really well. Some people lack, right? But I don't know. For the
were you not disappointed? Is not the word I want to use. Did you have the same intensity when it came to fear when the aliens were shown to you in Quiet Place versus before?
I think the same, because remember they showed off rip what happened to his son.
Yeah,
and you saw it, and I'm like, I don't want any smoke with that thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be quite honest, it was so fast you couldn't tell what it looked like. You just saw a blur.
Yeah, but that blur, you know enough.
Yeah,
I don't have the.
I'm talking about actually seeing it though.
That was it. Didn't change.
No,
because of their abilities. That's what scared me. It's not what they look like. That they swipe your life away. Literally, they literally hit left on Tinder every time they see you. Just nope, you're dead. That right when I saw that happen to their kid off rip, I'm like, okay, so no one. First of all, that movie's like no one's safe.
Mm-hmm. Did that shock you?
No, shock. No, they set the tone. Randall, I've seen like the weirdest shit on Game of Thrones, right? Like, I've seen Hodor's dick. All right, like, what do you shock, Randall? No, but I enjoy. I definitely. I'm behind that. Right off rip, boom. This family's baby died. At that point, I'm like, they're all dead at the end of this movie, right? At that point, that's them telling me, don't fucking care about any of these people. And that's what I like. I don't like once I see some movies that are like playing it too safe. I'm like, it becomes cookie cutter. You'll know what's gonna happen. It becomes like Dragon Ball. You know how like Dragon Ball, like the first few sagas with Cell, Frieza, and stuff. Oh, so and so's about to die.
Mm-hmm.
But you know 6 other characters are on that planet. They're going to be there right at the last second, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of safety nets. What's up, Johan, in the chat? He said he's late. It's fine. We're just talking about the Guilty / 10 Cloverfield Lane / The Vast of Night /
that would be something else that I would make sure that I would do is no plot armor.
Yeah, you can't have that safety net. I mean, like...
And I would try my best knowing what Bryant says a lot.
With what?
I would try my best if I was a director, I would try my best not to leave. What does he usually say?
I was just gonna ask you, what does he say?
I think he says problem. Isn't that what you say?
The foreshadowing. That's good though. I don't want just. It's a good balance. Like for me, when it comes to.
But I wouldn't want it to be obvious though. Like apparently to him, it's very obvious. It's almost like it's like they're serving up. Like, look, this potentially is going to be a problem. Yeah, I don't want it to be like that. I would want it to be more like you just caught it. You know what I mean? It's not like it's something like in the center of the screen. It's like you happen to be looking off in the background, kind of like
framing. You're just gonna make sure it's in the frame, but it's not the focus. It's not the subject. Got it. Okay, that's okay. That's fine.
The way Quiet Place does it, though, I like it because you don't know who's gonna encounter the problem.
Yeah, the Quiet Place, the first one, did a good job of doing it, center staging the problem, but then now, like you were saying, like letting your mind do the worst. You're like, "Fuck, is this gonna cause someone to die because of it? Who's gonna go down there?"
The foreshadowing I think Randall would like more is it movie Signs, the Mel Gibson one?
Yeah.
Where that one, even off like the first thing they say and then goes back to it. I was like, that's.
Yeah, I love that movie, man. Because I think I've mentioned this before. I'm pretty sure we talked about this movie, but
yeah, we saw it after you mentioned it. The thing about the guy on the roof.
Yeah, when I went to the movies, I didn't see that.
How'd you find out about it then?
Because after I bought the movie, after it came out like on DVD back then.
Oh, we're dating ourselves here.
I watched it and I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the movie, I just saw him jump up, and I was like, "Why did he jump up?" But then I saw it again. I was like, "Wow!" Like
because you were looking for it now. You're trying to see if you can.
It's kind of like that video that I sent to you on TikTok with the alligator, and the people who are like they're like fishing in the pond.
Oh, and they saw the alligator,
and the alligator's been sitting there the whole
just
time,
staring at him. Yeah,
yeah,
I'd have been dead.
Yeah, that stuff is like silhouettes for like Brian. Yeah. That's what that's like for me. Oh, okay. When something's been sitting there and you have no idea how long it's been sitting there the whole time,
just looking at
you don't even know how long it's been there.
Oh, and October's coming up, bro. I'm gonna be shitting myself on stream.
That thing could have jumped out if the person had been just a little bit closer to the edge, they'd have been done.
It would have been over.
Because that's what you see videos of, like them swimming really slowly towards like a herd of animals.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it just jumps out and grab it, and then it's over. Yeah. Like that. Alligators themselves don't scare me. But like if it was one walking down the street, I wouldn't be scared.
Because alligator walking, I would. Why is it walking?
They walk.
You talking about, but it's different. When he says walk, he immediately thinks humanoid walking.
Oh, you mean like on 2 feet?
Yeah.
No. I mean like regular walking with all fours.
Yeah.
If it was walking down the street, huh?
So where are you from, bro?
Oh.
That's no.
If it was walking down the street,
some Bill,
I would be like, okay, whatever. Even if I saw a lion or something like that, I'd be like, okay. I would be cautious, obviously, because I don't want to die or provoke it.
Yeah.
But I would be like, whatever. But if you take that same animal and put it in a situation where it's like, I don't know, let's say I was digging in my car for something, I couldn't find my hat or some junk like that. And then I like get out of my car, close the door, and turn around, and it's been a lion sitting there staring at me the whole time. That's the junk I don't like.
I'd be like right back inside my car. Getting the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny shit. So the Guilty on Netflix. I definitely recommend it, especially for people who like the what is it, the crime podcast or whatever, with like 911 operators. Definitely for that. Oh man. Holy shit. Where do we go from here, right? Oh, I can do one. Maybe Brian will like this. There's a TV show that Janiana found out about called We Are Lady Parts. And you're like, what the fuck? Anywho, a British show, Brian, about a bunch of
clicking the link.
Yep, a bunch of girls who try to start up an indie band. And it's only one season out. I don't know if it's like a limited series or if it's multiple seasons, but there's only one season out. and it goes through the band's first year, I guess, or not a year, but like the first them trying to become a band. There's not much to say. There's in a good and a bad way. Good because all the good parts of a band movie are there. Like they make music together. You hear a bunch of music. It's very also. Let me continue the thought. The bad parts is there's a lot of tropes. Like the band's gonna. Oh, they're getting excited. They're getting together. They're enjoying themselves. Then something's gonna happen. They'll break apart, and then they'll come back together near the end. That trope. That's in this. If you're okay with that trope, it's a great ride. Dialogue and editing is very Edgar Wright with the quick
multiple cuts.
Yeah, just pop, 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 back and forth. They say quick, really funny shit. Highly recommend it. It was really cool to watch. Enjoyed it a lot. And that's all I can really say. I don't want to spoil the rest. And the music in it that they make is great. So not great, but like it's fine. It's great. I'm gonna stick with great. $100 for great.
Oh shit.
And that's it. That's all I really had to say for that. It was a short season. I think it was only like 8 episodes or something. So I don't know if it's getting renewed. I don't know what the issue is because it aired this year. So 6 episodes. And they're all 20 minutes each. So you can quite literally binge through it.
Is it worth, you think?
Binging it?
Just watching it.
Yes, I highly recommend it. I enjoyed it a lot. It gave me like, I don't say, it's just watching this movie reminded me of Sing Street. Remember Sing Street?
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
That I'm not saying it's as good as Sing Street, but this is definitely worth your time. It's 6 episodes, 20 minutes. Like, it's cool stuff. I definitely enjoy it. Especially if you like the Edgar Wright stuff. I thought it was him. I had to look it up to see who directed stuff, and it's not him, but it's definitely an homage type of thing. It's like he worked on it. Anyway, and that's quick out of the way. Brian.
Yep.
It seems like I have your full attention now.
I finished. I sent you a screenshot of the repeater.
Lit. Let's talk about this gem of a movie Randall watched earlier, and I have yet to watch it until this weekend. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And that movie is Luca. Holy shit, Rand. Holy mozzarella. Santa mozzarella.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. All right. Luca, the new... Is it Pixar or is it Disney proper?
Pixar.
Disney.
It's Disney?
Wait. Is it
Pixar at the beginning?
Yeah, that's right. 'Cause I made a dumb noise of it when it was trying to squish the eye. It's Pixar.
Wow. That slipped under my radar.
No, you probably knew about it. You just forgot. I mean, you gotta get Brain Age or something, dude. Like, get an emulator and just start playing that. That way it works. Oh, I knew I forgot to put something on here. WarioWare. I'll do that next week. Luca, absolutely. Story of a... They're called sea monsters. I don't think they ever named them, right? Like, actually, what are they... For all intents and purposes, what we know them as is sea monsters, but they're not monsters. They're just sea creatures that live underwater. Shout out to Giuseppe. It's a fish that he herds around, who Luca herds around as part of his like chores, I guess. Anywho, he's a sea monster that wants to venture out and explore and go into, like, onto the shores, like above water, but he's heard too many like terrifying stories about the people killing sea monsters that look like him, that just humans kill anything that's from the sea and eat it, and now he's like scared. His mom telling him, hey, don't go out in the surface because you know what I'm saying, they'll kill you, etc., etc. Just the fear of God in him, until he runs into Alberto for the first time underwater because he's like scavenging. Scarfano. Bro, the names in this movie, bro. Anyway. Yeah, until he starts gathering things up and going, I'm sure. Then he ventures up on shore and goes, oh, snap. He basically, when they're out of water or dry, I'm just regurgitating the review Randall gave already at this point. They turn human. They look human. He doesn't know how to be human. Like, walking was quite the fucking challenge and hilarious. And all that other stuff. So, hanging out with his new friend Alberto, he learns how to walk around like a human, you know, hide in plain sight, sort of. Try not to get wet in public because he'll look like the sea monster. and then they both fall in love with a Vespa. They all want a Vespa from Senor Vespa, right? So that's bait, and they trying to figure out how, they first tried creating their own, didn't work out. It was fun, also funny collage of them trying to make their own Vespa, and it went horrible. And then they make it into inland to a city, and they see that one of the probably the antagonist has one, and he's like, they need to get one. So they enter a race called the Porto Rosso Cup, which is a relay race with prize money, and they want to win the prize money so they can get their own Vespa. And that is the story. I'm not going to ruin it anymore from that. That's the overview. Go watch this. Brian, I don't know if you want to start, but I'm just going to be gushing over this. The characters, the amount of charm in this movie is beyond any container you can think of. From the kids' quick animations, the facial expressions, the vibrant scenery, the vibrant colors. The kid is, first of all, is on acid, because anything he thinks about the Vespa, he's in another world, like imagining it, and that gets super vibrant, like saturation overflow, and then when he comes back to life, it's still beautifully saturated. It goes from oversaturation that's not killing your eyes to just a perfect amount of saturation for the environment, and I'm like, oh. Anyway, what else am I talking? Characters, yeah. Animation, fantastic. The writing, great. Animations that I'm sure the actors didn't know was happening. Alberto, in the beginning of the movie, just hits him with the craziest face. And unless that kid who voiced him said, yo, you should do this, that was like an animator's touch. And he's like, hey, you didn't actually know that, right? And he just looks at him like, and just dead quiet for like a second and just bites his lip suddenly. And I'm like, that's my character right there. It's great. Same with the support characters. There's a character named Massimo, that awesome dude.
That's my guy.
Yeah, dude. Like they do a good job of making like world building. The life around Porto Rosso they do it subtly. It's not like, oh, we do this, and this. It's just as the movie's progressing, you learn their ways. You know, learn the culture of the area, and since they're like fishermen and stuff. Anywho, what? The music I thought was fine. I don't remember the music a lot. Yes, it was fantastic. It was a bunch of old Italian music, like a bunch of like old ladies singing, like not old ladies, women like on the singing. There's like the men out there singing stuff. It's just old classic Italian stuff. If you've seen the scene from Man from Uncle, it's that type of music over and over, and it's great. It's just.
I was gonna say Ratatouille.
Oh, Ratatouille also had the Italian music as well. So like. But this is like a different type, and theirs was more upbeat, right? Like this one was more like ballads, like Italian ballads, right? I don't know. Anywho, great music as just for the soundtrack. The story as a whole, it's again the tropes. Once you figure out what the things happen, you can kind of guess what's going to happen in terms of like the high. 20,000 feet up over you. Oh, this happens. Here's a conflict. They'll come back and be okay, right? But at a deeper level, when you start talking about the characters and what their backstories are, Alberto's backstory hit beautifully. Like the timing for all of it was hitting everything. You know what I'm saying? Like on all cylinders. What am I even saying anymore? Go fucking watch Luca, dude. Like this is definitely when I see this shit on sale on Google Play, buy. Right, Randall? That's what I'm talking about. Bro, what else? I mean, that's why I'm not even saying cohesive sentences. Like, go fucking watch Luca, dude. Brian, I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to add. Shout out to Giuseppe again. And Machiavelli. And like
you nailed most of it. The only character that I dislike in this movie is the one that they force you to dislike.
But
this is cool.
I'm gonna flip it. Shout out to that character because that actor made you hate him. Shout out to the animators who animated him because fuck, I wanted to go in there and swing at him, and the voice actor did a phenomenal job. Up to the point where I'm like, if I hear that voice, I'm like, yo, we gotta step outside real quick. I know what you did, and we're fighting, but like. Believable asshole characters done well. I'm like, oh, he's a real person. They nailed it.
Yeah, cast is great. Visuals are great. Audio wise, great. Uh, whoever wrote the movie and then like I don't know, animated accordingly, like the main story.
Yeah.
Great job. A very emotional movie.
Yep.
The plot twist. I literally was sitting here like this when it happened. I was like,
The plot
What?
twist. I mean, when the conflict happened.
the big conflict.
Yeah, that same. I'm like, yo,
I was
what?
like, yeah, I was like, yo.
I felt
In my head, I took it to the extreme. I thought that happened, and then massive repercussion.
yeah, same.
Without spoiling.
Yeah. And I'm like, that when that hit, I'm like,
That shit.
I was gonna look at random and be like, yo, what fucking version did you watch? Because this better not be canon.
The reaction of the character.
Yeah, that was us.
That was yeah. I was like, what the hell?
Oh, right. That movie is a variant because the rest of the movie, if that happened to me, the rest of that movie wouldn't happen that way. Oh my god, dude. But go ahead. I'm like taking your time.
Yeah,
here.
it's just a gorgeous movie in every aspect, and I really enjoyed it. The Italian I'm glad that at least it seems this way. Minus Maya Rudolph, everyone there who spoke had either they're good at faking an Italian accent or they actually went out and got Italian actors and actresses. But just listening to it, it just felt like a slice of Italian. Like it's cool the way that they did the movie, and I don't know how to explain it the way I want to explain it, but we get it. The main character is someone who's never seen this life or this world or this city, so they're like, "What the fuck is this?" So we're literally, it's such a great. I'm freaking out. Dude.
I'm telling you, this movie does that to you when you start thinking back about how great it was. You started just like
a
gushing.
vessel for the audience to like vicariously live through him throughout the movie, because we're also like, oh, this is what they do. But they did it through the main character because they've never. It's like an isekai, I guess. Like you got teleported into another world.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy. Yeah, I don't really have anything. I don't have any complaints at this moment.
I might have while I was watching. I'm like, that could have been done differently, but I'm still in the honeymoon phase of watching that movie because it was literally yesterday. So
yeah, but Massimo that's my main.
So good, man. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed all of it. Because I was looking through my excuse me, my 2021 list of movies, and Soul was on there. Because usually every year there's a Disney movie, and I'm like, it's gonna make my top 10. And I'm like, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, yo, Soul was really good, but for me, Luca is just threw it out, right? Not in a disrespectful way. Soul on its own, fantastic. This was like, let's up it, right? There's again the levels of charm in this. It's like kids can watch it, get something from it. This is why I like watching movies like this. Depending on the age group, you'll get something different. What you're going through your life, you're watching through it, you'll get something different. This is that type of movie, right?
Well, Pixar movies are always like that. Like on the surface, they look like kids' movies, but the deep down, they're actually real,
meaningful
adult.
Bro, the last two Toy Stories, they're like, let's make it pretty for the kids. That plot entirely is for adults.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That last one had me like emotional on the inside. The last Toy Story,
the one with the spoon.
With the spoon with the girl who's like, you just wanted to get her owner back.
Oh yeah.
And it had multiple arcs. They're just like, damn, you know.
Yeah. So yeah. Do I recommend Luca? Yes. I'm going to buy this movie when for me to own digitally. Like it's worth your time and your money. I didn't see it in theaters. I don't know. No, it came out this year, so of course I didn't see it in theaters. But yes, go and watch Luca. It's definitely worth your time.
Yeah, unless you hate nice things, that's the only person I would say don't watch this.
Oh, absolutely. If you hate nice things, stay far away from this.
Stay the far.
Just stay the fuck away from this. You're probably a variant. Anywho, now that we're done fucking blowing Luca here, right? The movie. Let me just take a step back here. Oh, and speak of that, before we continue, Luco, I think is his uncle's name.
Ugo.
God bless him. That fucker, you need to punch him in the heart to keep him alive, right? Like what? I'm all about it. Anyway, that is that. Brian.
Hmm.
Jupiter Hell.
Okay, so boom, I have a roguelike addiction. I'm just gonna come out and say it.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, after what? Dead Cells, Hades,
Dead Cells, Hades, Rogue Legacy. Rogue
oh, I'm sorry,
Legacy.
Rogue Legacy, yes.
Binding of Isaac is a roguelike to
Yes.
me.
It is.
There's
Isn't
a
it?
lot more, but I'm
Should be.
blanking out right now.
Enter the
Nuclear
Gungeon.
Throne, Enter the Gungeon. A lot.
Yes.
There's more than that, but I'm blanking out.
Right.
I love roguelikes.
This, yes, we have established this. Yes.
My phone. Shout out to my phone. I guess.
Shout out to
news
phones.
feeds.
Yeah.
Shout out to my phone. Shout out to my Pixel 4a.
Shout out to
something
Pick. Whoa, we're not getting paid. Just say phone.
It does. It auto generates news feeds for you for things you might like, and it's like, oh, roguelike turn-based Doom aesthetic. What's it called out? And I'm like, that's a lot of words that sound like I would enjoy this.
That
So-
the opposite for me. That when it describe their game with too many adjectives, I'm like, what is this fucking Hydra? Right? Go ahead.
And I just kept seeing. I didn't see one negative thing about it because I kept recommending similar articles. I'm like, fuck, it's like $20 or something. I'll try it.
Okay.
Off rip for anyone who's like, I really like roguelikes like Dead Cells and Hades because no matter what happens, you can die and then you can buff yourself. This one, you die with your character, you start over. There's nothing that carries over. If you get to level 7 and you have upgrade points and you die, you start as if you've never played the game.
Oh, so it's a rogue. It's not a rogue light. It's a rogue.
Oh, it's one of those.
Rogue light.
I was like,
rogue
oh, I
light
died.
is.
What happens? And it's like new game. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, rogue light is what Hades and stuff is, where it's like, oh, it's difficult, but we give you some progression so you can continue to play it.
This says fuck you.
Yeah, this is like, yo, new game, thanks. It's like playing an arcade game where you put in we put in a coin and see if you can beat the whole thing in one go.
Not only is that add difficulty to it, the game itself is just fucking hard. So it's turn based, not like, hey, I'm gonna walk up and then Final Fantasy, attack, defend. Time is at a standstill until you move or do an action. But you just walk around in 4 directions. It's not 8-way. So if you want to go diagonal, you spend 2 turns.
You spend 2 spots. Oh, okay.
You don't spend it's turns like that, but it's not like you have I can move 7 times and then it's the next turn. It's in-game time progresses. And depending on the actions you do, like let's say some guns reloading takes up a whole second or a turn, while some of them you can just do that and you can still move before time progresses.
Got it. So your resource is time. It's just everything's it's like playing VATS, but real time. Like, choose
essentially.
it. Oh no, VATS I think actually stops. Don't worry about it. I know what you mean.
Slow mos. It's like.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
But it's different because it's not. You don't. The resource in VATS is not time. The resource in VATS is your energy bar, so it's not the same.
I guess it's more like Metal Gear when you're switching through your inventory. I don't think it pauses, right?
Yeah, it pauses.
And I don't know.
It don't.
I thought it slows down. That's what I thought originally.
I thought time slow. I thought it stopped completely. My bad. It's been a long time since I played Metal Gear. So.
The closest I can say is super hot, but that only slows it down.
Yeah, super hot.
Maybe if you hold it down and cycle through, maybe it does stop. But I usually do quick selects.
Just tapping it, like
yeah.
Okay.
Like tapping.
It's the tapping, baby.
Yeah, that's how this works. You have ammo that you have to pick up, and you kill things. You have different weapons. You kill. There's 3 classes. There's one that's literally running gun. I can carry more weapons on me.
Oh.
And their special ability is you fill up the meter by killing things.
Like a berserker.
Yeah, essentially. And then your ability is you heal a certain percentage of the damage you're taking and gain a shield. And you have to kill things to fill it up. The other one's basically like a stealth class. It's like marksman. You start with a revolver, so that's what I picked first. Their whole gimmick is stealth. You I forget what you do. By looting stuff, you fill up your meter and then you can go invisible for a certain amount of time/turns.
Yeah.
And then the third one is the engineer, where you can just dismantle stuff. I don't remember. They have a smoke grenade, so like, oh, get the fuck out. And then they have a passive where you something involving dismantle. I don't remember.
Okay.
This game, you kill things and you progress. You get XP, and then you essentially have kind of like Fallout, the way you get the perks. You don't do like, oh, strength +1. You get perks.
Right.
You put levels into them, and then you go into advanced stuff, and like that. That's how the game level up works.
Okay. Which
Each class has different things. They have some similar perks, but each class has different tree almost entirely.
Okay.
Multiple weapon types: melee, pistols, rifles,
close range,
and
mid range, long range.
Kill things. Go to the next map, and try to make it out. I guess.
Is it an early access?
It's definitely challenging.
Is it out?
What happened?
Is it an early access or out?
It's out.
Okay.
It's fun. I'm not good at it right now. I'm playing just difficulties too. So if you wanted to do easy and play through it, you could.
I'm saving Deathloop for last because I have a lot to unload and about difficulty and stuff. So Deathloop's gonna be a conversation. So we'll come back to the difficulty stuff.
The main character, the way they talk, you don't make your characters. It gives you a generic white dude. They did this on purpose. He speaks as if he is John McCain, essentially.
Okay.
Like the action star quips. You can apparently change what he says or how often he speaks. Like only serious things or only comical. I left it as default, and he says some stupid stuff, but it's funny.
Oh, okay. As long as it's like humorous and adds something to the moment to moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's hard, but it's fun, and the aesthetic's cool. Oh, combat also works like it's not like, hey, he's right in here. You decide to shoot, you're gonna hit him. It's XCOM stat wise, how far you are, if you're behind cover. So that's also the other mechanic to it.
So you can be literally smelling his perfume, but there's a % that you're just gonna miss. Fuck that. That shit really infuriates me. Which I mean, it's sort of real life. I've heard stories where there's people like this close to somebody, they fire, and since they can't handle recoil, as it's going, it shoots off somewhere else, and you don't actually hit your target from that close. But if it's a shotgun, my guy, anything in this area should be deleted, right? I don't know. I'm not a gunsmith, a gunsman, right?
Yeah, that's all I really got to say. I liked it. I haven't played too much of it. I played like one sitting just because I was trying to just try things on my backlog.
Yeah.
So I can move it. This got moved. This is my primary backlog. I was like, this is fucking difficult. And this seems like something, if I don't know what to play, I can just get a few lives in. So I moved to secondary backlog. But I enjoyed it. If you like rogue, if you want something difficult and something that is just fun.
Yeah.
If you like strategic or turn-based or new, if it's like a rush-down version of turn-based, if you want just
Rushdown XCOM.
If you want a Rushdown XCOM, but way fucking harder, I would recommend this to you.
You put this in your stocking?
I put it in the stocking, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. Time.
Okay. Hey, a world record. You got a new PR.
Yes.
You got an entire island. What we got? Okay, so yeah, we can do that. We'll swap to Randall, then back to you, and then I'll end it with Deathloop.
I gotta pee really quickly.
Perfect. Randall, you got to tell me about Mitchell's versus the Machines. Kelsey reviewed
what Kelsey said?
No, that was 18 episodes ago.
Oh wow, I didn't realize this movie was that old.
I think it came out last year. Hold on, you have a link to it, right? Oh, it came out this year. So yeah, earlier this month. Oh yeah, April of this year. Yeah, Anthony, has been 18 weeks. I'm looking like, does that math add up? I'm like, yeah. It's episode 141 where he talked about it. And I guess we took a week off. So 19 weeks. It doesn't matter, Randall. So like Mitchell's and the Machines versus the Machines, sorry.
the first thing I noticed when I was watching this movie is like I felt like so Borderlands 3 is the newest one, right?
That's
like
out
recently.
Yes, that's out.
Like it came out recently.
That's the latest one, the most recent. It's not the.
But I mean, like in terms of like
release dates.
Yeah,
it came out last year.
So it's not. So you guys are not getting a new one anytime soon.
I'm sorry, it came out 2019 technically, and then it came
so
out
you are due for a new one, like a Borderlands 4.
Well, they're doing Wonderlands, which is like Borderlands.
But isn't that like an expansion?
No, that's like a side shoot. Like, you know how there was like the pre-sequel and was there another side shoot or pre-sequel? I think pre-sequel was Borderlands 1, 2, pre-sequel, and then 3. So yeah, like pre-sequel was like its own thing. That's what Wonderlands is. It's like its own thing. Yes, Tiny Tina's in it, but
so it's not Borderlands 4.
No.
Okay.
It's just called Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
All right.
And it's
well, the reason I brought that whole thing up was because I feel like the first thing I thought of when I was watching this movie was like, this is what Borderlands 4 should look like.
Oh, I see. Like the art style?
Yeah, because it does the similar art style that Borderlands has with
the black
like it draws out the detail.
Uh-huh.
So it's like that, but it's like upgraded.
Uh-huh.
Like realistic lighting and all that stuff.
If only they would take that.
I feel like they could.
Yeah, but Randall, we're on Borderlands 3, going to Wonderlands or whatever, and I bet there's still going to be loading screens between areas. We live in a world where I don't need to be seeing that anymore. I'm sorry.
So
that's something.
Why is it?
Because that's just, I don't know. Because you need to optimize it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the source code. I don't know why it was that. The only time I should be loading is when I'm jumping between the planets in Borderlands 3. So you jump between planets, understandable. Different like asset set because one's like a cold area, whatever. Right? You're a different planet. But when I'm on the same planet, I should connect it. Open world per planet, right? Yeah, will it take longer to design and make? Sure. That's worth my $60 that I'm giving you. Don't play it safe, right? Anyway, we're going on a tangent. Go ahead.
No, I understand what you're saying.
What the hell's going on?
No, I'm just going off on Borderlands playing safe.
Not because I opened up by saying that the way the movie looks, it looks like if they did Borderlands 4, you know, like if they upgraded the graphics but still kept the same style, this would fit perfectly. So it looked really good. First of all, I thought it looked really good. The animation was really good. I
mean, shout out to the people who made Spider-Verse.
The story was good. It was about a family who's more so is about the entire family, but it's more so about the relationship between a father and daughter, and how like it's slowly been divided because she's getting older and a lot of the stuff that
she's into, he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
They just drifted apart.
She's an artist.
She's
an artist / movie director. That's what she wants to do, and she wants to go to school to do that. And he's more of a Paul Bunyan, woods,
just craftsman. Yeah.
He like built an entire house in the woods with his bare hands type guy. Yeah. Which he literally did in the movie.
I mean, I believe you. There's people like that. They're built different.
So you have those two different dynamic types of people trying to, I guess, get along. But the relationship between them two is not the same anymore. So a situation happens where, because it's kind of a stab at technology today, and how everyone's on their phone, and also how you have a company. They even verbally mention it about how like a company takes your information and sells it to, you know, all that. Yeah. So it mentions that, but whatever. The company is pretty much fashioned after Apple, because they have like a seminar or whatever, and the guy comes on stage and he's like introducing the phone and what it's capable of and all that stuff like that, and he's
it's
like
remarkable, one of a kind,
and then the fastest. But here's the thing,
yo, shut up.
He says all that stuff, And the crowd is going crazy, and
Like
then he takes the phone and just throws it. He was like, "But that's old technology. Let me introduce you to a new one." And then the floor opens up, and then these android robot looking things come out. And it's like some like iRobot type stuff.
Now they have my attention, Randall.
And he said basically he's replacing the phone from being your assistant to these things are now your assistant.
Let's get it.
But because he had a relationship with the AI, which was on the phone, meaning, look, all I know is that that
didn't make any sense what you just said to me.
She was aware, like Skynet.
Oh, okay, the AI was. Oh,
yeah,
it was
aware. So she's aware of him.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say that they had a relationship, I'm guessing she's been around for a long time, helping him create stuff.
Okay.
I pretty much like Jarvis.
You mean like sentient? Like it can think for itself. It can make its own decision. It can judge a thing and make its own decisions.
Yeah. So he does something that she doesn't like, and that results in the robot takeover thing.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the movie. Is just them
surviving a robo apocalypse.
Yeah, because like.
Okay, I'm down.
She's pretty much winning. She's like taking everybody at this point, and the only family that's left is them,
the Mitchells.
Yeah, and they hint at the reason why they're like the last family to get captured is because they are so discombobulated. Like they're not like a normal family. Like they're weird. Like everybody have like these quirks about them that makes them like not like the normal family. You know what I mean? Even down to the dog. The dog cannot look straight if his life depended on it.
Cannot look straight?
Cannot look straight. Like I think it was like a pug. So his eyes was like going in different directions or whatever. And they would like try to do exercises with it to try to get it to look straight. And you would see him struggling with trying to get it straight, but it wouldn't work. So it was a fun movie, man. It was funny. It was it had a lot of I guess you say hidden messages. Mm-hmm. Again, like with the technology stuff, and then relationships and families, and how people grow apart when they get older, and you know your interests change, but you're still a family, and even though families have differences, families don't get along sometimes, but you still love each other despite of it, and that's what you fight for and all that stuff like that. So that's pretty much the theme of the movie, which was good, because it was good to see them come together. It was just funny. It was funny on top of it because of the fact that they aren't your normal American family. Like,
right?
They have like weird quirks or whatever that make them
incredible.
Like the son was just. It's hard to explain, but like he would like this girl, and he would like he was like really enthusiastic about dinosaurs, like to the point where he was like a dinosaur connoisseur. Like he would.
Okay, that's what you did there.
Dinosaur.
I mean, it just sounds like you're saying dinosaur, Brian. That sounds very similar.
You can take this if you want.
Oh, okay. Just leave it on my front door.
So he was like a huge enthusiast, and he was, I don't know how old he was, but he wasn't that old. I don't think he was in high school, but it was a next door neighbor girl who's also into dinosaurs, and like he liked her, but he doesn't have the social skills, so he would talk to her, and he would like, do you want to talk about dinosaurs sometimes or whatever? And she's normal. Like she has a functional communication. Like she knows how to communicate with people. Like her social skills are good.
Okay.
So she's like, yeah, sure, blah, 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 whatever. And he's like, he'll agree with it, but then in a split second, he'll be like, no, never mind. I don't want to ever see you again. Talk to you. And as he's running away, because he's just like that terrified.
That introverted.
Yeah.
Like I can't do this. It's overload.
Yeah. Which he was really funny, and the dog is really funny. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It was really funny to me. It was a very good looking movie, very beautiful, very well animated. The voice acting was good.
Okay.
Game of the year.
Bark. don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
It was up there.
That's 3 animated movies for this year already.
Yo, just get rid of humans.
Yo, what? Are you one of the robots? And then, like, your eyes glow red, and then the stream cuts.
Yeah, remember? Call back.
Yeah.
I'm a replicant.
I'm a replicant, dude. Well, replicants are old news now. It's variants now, Brian. Right? I'm messing with timelines, right?
I'm a variant.
Oh, a bear in time.
That's the name of my new movie.
Javi in the chat, how's it going?
I don't think I would want to meet my variant.
Oh, are you kidding me, Randall? Kang is my origin story.
Nah.
Are you kidding? Me searching out for more me's to conquer every timeline? Randall, come on.
Why? But why?
Why not? Answer that question for why not. I'll wait.
Get the other
Okay,
side.
all right. So let's say, because I'm assuming if you are as intelligent as this character is being presented, then you've thought about this plan. You didn't just wake up one day and say, "I'm going to do this." So, in your grand scheme, let's say you do accomplish, you are successful. Then what?
I'm never gonna be successful. There's infinite. I'll be doing it until I die.
What do you mean?
To conquer every timeline, there's an infinite amount of it,
There's only infinite if it branches.
and there will be branches. I'm not gonna make one holy one like in what's it called, like in MCU stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm not following that. I'm just gonna keep going.
That you don't think that would get old?
No, what kind of variants of myself? Can
And I mean, eventually one day you're going to run into one that's going to destroy you. If not your variant, it will be someone else's.
Then Randall, they earned it because I'm no easy foe. Okay. All right, I don't have the weight of a huge cock to hold me down. Like I'm speedy, bro. Right?
I don't know. I would spend my energy on more.
Productive,
Yeah,
like conquering.
not conquering, but maybe making myself the best version of myself.
You can only do that by conquering the less ones.
Not necessarily, or I can learn from them.
How about
I don't have to destroy them.
How can I do you one better?
What?
I search for all of them and then force them to fuse into me. Like Kirby when he swallows people when he gets their abilities.
So you would do what Strange did in the What If, but with other U's?
Yes. Until it's just like my brain will explode.
Consequences to that.
Oh, absolutely, Randall. But I mean, who cares, right? We have Infinity Stones that can just fix it. One of you guys will go for
Infinity Stones only work within their universe.
Okay,
So that means you would have to get the Infinity Stones for every universe that you go to.
You guys have time. Y'all can do that. That's your problem, not mine. I'm gonna be dead.
I'm just going to be doing me.
There you go, Randall. You're on your own.
I'm just going to start a podcast with all my variants.
Oh, you see? Brian understands content.
But that wouldn't matter if you're going around conquering things.
Brian just pulled me back out. I'm good. I'm just gonna make a bunch of content.
Oh, just like that. You just changed.
I'm changing. That's when I get new information, Randall. I reanalyze.
Okay. So you went from conquering to podcast.
Randall, you're going to
Randall,
thank me? I just saved you.
Not podcast, Randall. Anything on social media, on YouTube. I'm on all platforms at all times doing all content.
He's really not going to thank me. I just saved his life.
He
I mean, don't get me wrong. If Anthony's out there conquering, trying to take over timelines, I'm not going to just be like, well, I'm just going to sit here and do art. Like I'm going to be out there trying to do the same thing. Like I'm not going out like that.
If they're like, oh, Anthony variants are conquering, I'm like, all right, well, and I'm just going to follow it.
I would expect Brian to say that he would like try to like get together all his variants and make the most lethal
gun
revolver ever.
Holy shit! It shoots wrenches.
Like it can shoot through galaxies.
Oh, but I like that movie you were telling me about where he shoots from like a mile away and his target hits, or he hits his target.
That's how Anthony loses. It's just all of me holding up one revolver, and then we
and all the rounds make one massive bullet bill, like Mario, and just take me out. That's fantastic. All right, we're back to reality here.
It should have like some sort of message on a bullet. That
what did it say?
That reference like him killing you at 50.
Oh, I told you, bitch. And I just like it just happens to be my 50th birthday as it hits me.
Yeah. There you go. That works.
There you go. Animate that, Randall.
You got it. Anyone out there can animate that entire story, that'd be fantastic. You'll get no money from me because we're not making money on this channel. Get to 1,000 subs, please.
Yeah, side note, because I was just perusing your channel.
Yes.
I saw how many views the Red Dead short has, and that's more than anything else on your channel.
Yeah, because that's why I haven't been putting... what's it? Let me think straight because I get too excited. That's why I stopped doing episodic things with like the games. The last thing that's on there, I think, is Monster Boy. So I just got to find a way to schedule myself to start doing more edits and just do cut down like what we did with Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim. The one where he shot you in the face?
Yeah. I knew that in my head was nested. We played the first day. It was me, Javi, and Brian. The first time we played, and I joined Javi's party. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and the first thing Brian does is obviously try to fucking shoot me. And it didn't work. And I'm like, oh, is friendly fire off? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, can you turn that off? And he's like, yeah, you can turn off or turn it on. So then he can't do it. Since that second, I'm like, the second I'm able to host a party, I'm going to turn it on because I know Brian's going to fucking shoot me and it's going to be fucking content. Guess what happened the moment this fucker joins my goddamn party? Well,
it wasn't the moment. It was like when you was trying to... You was trying to get him to join and he declined it. And then he shot you. Well, it was almost like at the same time. He was like, I declined it. Bah!
I like from Mike, because there's delay. For mine, it was better timing because I decline it. And then I shoot.
Like, I still have that VOD. I need to edit that. Like, this clip is fine, but once I go in there and download DaVinci and make actual edits, it's going to be different.
Tell me how DaVinci Resolve is, because I keep hearing good things about it.
I've been using it before. I've used it.
Oh, you used it before?
Yeah, I just have to reinstall it on here.
That's what I used to make my Instagram videos.
Oh. It's free too. You know?
Yeah.
Wink, wink, Adobe.
Just let me know. Never going to happen.
I know, it's definitely not. Now they have probably millions of people on their subscription. That's not happening.
And they just added Substance to it? Yeah.
Oh, that's true. You told me they added the painter.
Yeah.
Man, I doubt it's happening. But yeah, that's why there hasn't been like weekly. That's why I dabbled with the long play, or like Cloudpunk and stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna do something different. The long plays just take too, like, obviously long. I have to record all of it and then stitch it together and then put it on there. And I'm like, I might just stick to editing.
919 views.
It has 908. Last time I checked, it was like 24.
919 views.
Let's fucking go. We're out here. Content machines.
This is going to be the video that turns everything around.
We'll see.
Someone even commented on the video.
Yeah.
And there's 33 likes on it. So yeah, every time you guys like that video or anything on this channel, there's another time I'm going to shoot Anthony.
Please don't do that. Okay. Because he's going to wait till we're in the middle of a fucking mission and he's going to shoot me off my goddamn horse.
No, I've tried to shoot you in the mission. It won't let me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't think it works.
Okay. Anywho. That's why I play with stuff with friendly fire on and stuff, because one, it makes more sense. Like, if you accidentally shoot someone, they should fucking die, right? Like, that's why I like Fallout and stuff like that, because those engines, like, you can kill them, and then the game will just hunt you down for the rest of the game. So, like, the other NPCs, like, it makes more sense. It makes it more believable anyway. But yeah, it did well on TikTok. I didn't think it did 100 and something, but it did okay on the talk as well. I don't know if anybody will watch that on the thing, but here we are. Yeah, I'm gonna start installing DaVinci and just start doing just edited content. Like, keep the VODs on here maybe, and then just have both. Have the VODs on there as public, like, oh, episode 1, 2, and 3, like we're doing with like the Red Dead, and then have cut down versions as well. I will see. Papa has a lot on his mind and plate, and scheduling's difficult, right? Juggling's difficult. Anywho, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say your deity is dark?
Yeah.
Tell me about Dark Deity as you're playing your mobile game.
It's at 616 views on TikTok.
Yeah, there you
go. I don't have too much to say about this one. Dark Deity
is
an indie Fire Emblem.
Okay.
I was like, yo, if you like Fire Emblem, try this. That's what I was hearing. It's like, boom. Obviously, I love Fire Emblem. It's like top 3 of my favorite Nintendo IPs.
Okay.
It's that Metroid, Kirby.
Well, ordered. We don't do anything.
Just, ordered.
Yeah, ordered.
Okay, ordered. Kirby, Metroid, Fire Emblem.
Just 1 to 3 or 3 to 1.
Kirby at the top.
Okay. So 1 to 3. You gotta build hype, Brian. This is just a note for future content. Start from the bottom. Now we're here, right?
Plot twist. I hate them all. That's content.
Fucking replay.
Soups up.
I named it that.
Yeah.
Camel's hump.
Some greasy shit.
Some greasy shit. Yo, that's what we need. I need to look into. We need to do commentary for movies and then release them so people can listen to it.
I mean, I'm fine with anything.
Anyway, again, see, Randall, if I had an infinite amount of me, all this would be. As we're doing this podcast, my other me's would be doing that.
Doing what? Commentary?
I'll be doing anything. Anything that comes to mind. Yo, that'd be cool content. They're already doing it.
Maybe.
Come on, Randall.
I don't think your variants are exactly like you.
Then scratch that idea.
This is why they're called variants.
I'm back to conquering all of them, and now we're gonna have an army of.
That makes it better, Anthony, because now you really don't need anyone but you for a podcast because it's all differing views.
Oh, okay, that's true. Well, I'm back. You're saved again, Randall.
You most indecisive person.
The opposite. I make the decisions. I make all of the decisions. Like if you say option A or B, I'll do A and then come back and do B as well.
I want to meet the variant of Randall that admits he loves ass play. That's the guy I want to hang out with.
Bro, imagine.
There is no variant.
Randall, you can't say that out loud. Like that's the point of infinite timelines. Explain that. This is Bandle.
Yeah.
That's one thing we all agree on.
No, Randall, that's not it. That's not how variation timelines work. That's
the one thing that all Randalls have, because all Lokis are mischievous. All Randalls ass play.
Okay. No, that he debunks that. So that's not what they share.
No. He doesn't debunk it. He just keeps denying it. Other ones just accept it.
Okay, I guess you kind of wrote your way into that.
That kind of makes sense. No, it doesn't.
That's like the denial thing you got. You know.
That's your quirk. That's this
his quirk when he's in My Hero has denial.
Yeah. Denies ass play.
Yeah. How does that help us against All for One?
Horrible quirk.
Oh man. So Dark Deity,
Deity.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I love Fire Emblem, so I'm like, I gotta try this, right? One thing I'll say, all the lady characters, they're pretty, right? Just get that out of the way. They look pretty.
Oh, like when they're zoomed. It's just it's like Fire Emblem, like they're pixelated when on the battlefield.
Sprites.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like pixel. It's like
sprites, like 8-bit, 16-bit.
New age. Like it looks pretty.
Okay.
You can tell this is like, what if we made Fire Emblem? Because even the attacks animations are very similar. Classes are very similar. The thing about this game is instead of, Fire Emblem, you have weapons that can break, and you also have different weapons within weapons that you have to equip on yourself.
Yeah.
Every character just has 4 weapons, and they don't have any durability. It's like one's for damage, one is focuses on crits, one is accuracy, the other one's a jack of all trades, and every character has this.
Oh, so they remove the maintenance for weaponry and stuff.
Yeah, so you always have those 4 things, and you can upgrade them by using currency. The biggest complaint, and this is basically what it boils down to. What I love about Fire Emblem is how many sub mechanics are in it, and how complex it is, and permadeath.
Yes.
I lose someone, they're gone.
You lose someone.
In this game, I did normal difficulty. I don't know if it's the highest difficulty it changes. If you were to murder one of my guys, they just get a stat debuff that's permanent, and then you get them the next mission, they're available again.
Yeah, there's no option for like just kill them.
Not that I saw, no.
Oh, okay.
Which is it defeats. It was making me play more reckless. I'm like, oh well, I can just buy an item that puts that stat up again. So what do I lose?
Oh, so you can actually revert the changes that they do to you.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, if let's say your intelligence goes down 1, just buy an item that permanently increases your intelligence, and then there you are.
Oh, so it's okay.
So like the game it's Fire Emblem Light. It'd be good to introduce you into it.
It's a more accessible.
The whole weapon
version.
triangle, where it's like, oh, swords beat axes, and that whole thing.
Yeah,
they did convoluted, fucking weird. So it's like weapon types, like damage types,
Yeah.
versus armor types. But there's like 5 of each. I'm like,
that's a lot to maintain.
what is all this? I mean, when you highlight one of your characters, it shows an up arrow or a down arrow. It shows an up arrow or a down arrow on the enemies.
Okay.
So if you highlight a character, well, he beats them.
So they visualize it, so it's more accessible. It's not like a more accessible Fire Emblem. I was gonna say that's too many types, but then we play Pokemon, Brian. There's like 18 types of fucking things there. So keeping track of all that is, I guess, 5 different armors is not that bad.
It used to be in the newer Fire Emblems. If depending on who you're next to, or how close they are, you can do double attacks with them.
Okay.
This isn't really the case. You can get buffs, so it's like, oh, someone's next to you, you get plus attack or something. They still have that.
Okay.
The whole bonding thing, which is fun to do, hey, make them fight, and then you can make them get married. That kind of stuff. They even say, hey, you can, if they fight together, you get some narrative, but it has no effect whatsoever on combat or gameplay.
It's just it's like
that's why bother? I don't care about this. I don't know. I uninstalled it like after the second session because I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
The game itself, it's solid. If you're new to those kind of games, I would say try this if you don't have access to Fire Emblem. But if you love Fire Emblem, you're a diehard or anything like that, it's skippable. Or I would say wait for a sale.
Maybe sale, but from what you're telling me, I would like you just load up an emulator and play older Fire Emblems.
Yeah,
like it sounds like it's trying
like
to
3
remix.
houses. If you have a Switch, I would save whatever money you're gonna spend on Dark Deity, and just get 3 houses.
You can get it probably on sale for the physical. There's a physical copy, so and those go on sale deeper discount than the digital ones.
If you only have a PC and you love those, you've played emulators, you're like, I love this series, and this is available, and you're like, should I play it? Wait for it to be on sale. Wait for someone to give you money as a gift or something, and then buy it. That's really all I gotta say.
Okay. And I think that boils down to me. Well, let's begin this. Deathloop. Developed by Arcane Studios, makers of Dishonored 1 and Dishonored 2. And I think there was like... Did they make Prey?
I think so. There's another game too. I forget what it is, but they made another game.
Where is Prey?
How do you spell it? Arcane?
Yes, Arcane. They also made Prey, which I loved very much.
Hello, Cobra.
Seems I tuned in just in time. Yes. Deathloop. 2021. This year. Came out last week, actually. So Papa had some free time over the weekend, and he became Colt. I died over and over again at the end of the day. Where do I start? Okay, let's just go with what...
Go with aesthetic.
Aesthetic. Very cool. I love the 50s, 60s, 70s. I'm bad with decades, but it has that very vibrant, weird aesthetic to it, like interior design for a bunch of the buildings. Music being played in the background. It seems like from an older time, and it just fits the style. Everything's a party city, because I'll get to the narrative in a bit. So everyone's like prepping for the party at night. Not everyone. Alexi is, which is one of the visionary / characters. Anyway, very vibrant. The environment, since it all takes place on one island, the different times of days that you visit different areas will look different. Areas will be snowing in like the afternoon, and by the end, like by nighttime, it's melted away or whatever the case is, and then it's back to luscious greens or just rocky, whatever. The water's reflection. Environments and everything look great. Everything looks aesthetically meshed well, if that makes sense. From the characters, the main characters, everyone's clothing, what the weapons, all look like from the same time period, sort of. Besides, we'll get to that. You said sound. Sound's great. I enjoyed firing the weapons. Each weapon has a distinct sound. The footsteps. The footsteps could have been worked on because they didn't have any verticality to it. But they could be because I'm just listening to on a 2-channel left and right headset. But there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, there's somebody right behind me, but it's actually them underneath of me or above me, and I'm like, oh, okay, well that kind of throws me off a bit, or I'm just not, or am I hearing shit? Like I don't know how that works, but they have footsteps for people, so if you're doing the super sneaky, you can kind of be like, oh, someone's walking towards me, away from me, whatever, and that's done pretty well. What else? Sound, music, I already mentioned, it was great. Randall mentioned when he was watching me, he's like, what's up with the guitars? There's a lot of cues and like in-game cues, like, oh, you killed someone, a little guitar riff, like a like when you get a headshot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like, or if you get caught and the music starts, because this is one of those games where when you're in battle, there's a soundtrack to it, and then when you're done, it's like, oh, and then the music stops because it's like you're done. There's nobody around, or no one is alerted to your presence. I guess it's like an audio cue, like no one sees you, or whatever the case is. Entering and exiting a level exiting, I guess, has like a little soundtrack to it. Anyway, what else? Characters. Like Colt, from what I've gathered so far of what his past was, in a way, his relationship with Juliana was very playful, like banter, because it's like they're competing against each other because every day they go through the same bullshit of trying to kill each other. The visionaries were really cool. They all had their own goals in mind, their own research, their own like things they wanted to, like ambitions in different ways. You get to learn, again, we'll get to the gameplay stuff on how you learn these things. Character design as well, they all look distinctly different. Like, yeah, there's Eternalists, which is just the fodder of people who are roaming the island, like just people you kill randomly. And then there's the actual visionaries, which they look kind of different from the Eternalists, which are the random NPCs, the enemies. Where else will we go from there? Which, again, looked great. They moved great. But did they think great? What does that mean? All right, let's get into gameplay here, because this is the meat of the fucking thing here. AI. One, Brian, you mentioned it earlier in the show, about difficulty settings. I didn't see a difficulty setting for this. So I'm thinking, okay, either AI is fucking lit, or they get harder if you like do really well or something. They're just one, two notes, right? They do whatever animation they're set to do there until you disrupt it or they see you, and then it's shoot them dead, right? They do flank, they do like get behind cover and things like that. It's just since there's no difficulty setting, you can't change their awareness. And I'm telling you, there's stuff where I'm like, how did you not see this fucking tall black man in a brown leather jacket like this, Randall? Let's say for people watching, this is a box.
But they do see you when you cloak.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's say the guy's working on a car, right? On the like let's say on the driver side door. Bam. Taking a hammer to it, because that's what you do to the doors, right? Just going in, and you approach from his left. Like me doing this, I can already see my fingers, right? Peripherals. Mm-hmm. It's like they built these. They don't have peripherals. They have literally the circle. You see my iris?
Blinders on.
No, my iris. Wherever it's looking, that's all I can see. The white space, none. I can't see anything. It's just straight the entire time, and you can just walk. I've walked up to someone and their meter of detection just glows up slowly. How? I'd be like, what is this tall black man coming at me with? And they're all looking for Colt. They know it's Colt. They say all the time, if they suspect that you're somewhere and they start walking towards the area, it better not be Colt. I heard this multiple times. So like, if it's not one of you guys that's Eternalist with them, because they all have masks on, besides the Visionaries. Mm-hmm. Well, Alexi has a mask on, but we'll get to his stuff. They're just oblivious. And I'm usually okay with that, because if there's a difficulty setting. Because I'm going to be on easy. I'm on easy, that's what I'm used to. But they're like, if Randall want to go here and be like, I want to play this Hitman style, stay with Hitman. Because the stealth in this game is not really... Are they looking at me? No. I can just crawl over there, break their neck, because all of him killing without a knife is breaking their neck in a way where I'm like,
it's like over the top.
Yeah, like there's one where it's like it's literally his head goes from here to looking backwards sideways. What?
You don't do that?
I mean, just the turning beyond the degrees of rotation, like past that point is enough. You've killed them.
Yeah,
you don't need to bend it back to.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, but yeah, the AI was definitely disappointing for something like that, especially when I come from Prey, where like these alien beings were doing crazy shit. The mimics were setting me up 10 O's because they could be anything, and they're like, let me be a cup because I know he's not gonna be expecting that. Fuck, and then I get startled because they're thinking like, oh, what's the thing he's not expecting, or what AI is like, oh, what can I mesh with? The AI in Prey was, I don't know what happened from that to this, because Prey's was awesome. And that was on easy. I think that had difficulty settings, and I played that one on easier difficulty, and I'm like, let's go.
Maybe with them is because their whole gimmick is anything's gonna attack you, whereas this, it seems like the loop was the main gimmick.
And we'll get to that. So that's the AI. Now this game, I've never been so torn in my life, because I've been waiting for this game since they announced it, and then of course the reviews, the NDA dropped, and everyone's loving it. I'm like, let's go. I even had this discussion with Cobra in the chat. I was like, because of the way this narrative works, where it's like, oh, you need to find a way to kill all 8 visionaries before the end of the day. I'm like, this is going to be a while for me to do this. The problem is the game guides you through it. So let me explain. When you're going, once you do the main mission and you get the Residium, I think that's once you get the Residium, which is the currency you'll start getting so you can keep things between loops. And we'll get to that too. The game goes, here are your leads. There's visionary leads, and then there's arsenal leads. Arsenal leads is if you stumble across like, oh, this room's locked, it'll be like arsenal lead. If you figure out how to get into this room, you'll get a new gun. And if you can start finding information on how to unlock it, etc. That's how I got the 2 guns run with the, what's it called? Yeah, that turns into an SMG. And then there's the visionary leads. Each visionary has their own lead, and you can start following to find out where, like, more information about them, where they're going to be, where's the best point for them to be, to kill them.
Real quick, did you ever figure out how to open that door that was connected to the hooker looking things?
No. I have to go back still. I still plan on going back and finish. There's a bunch, 1, achievements. 2, there's a bunch of stuff that I didn't figure out the first time. So I'm like, I got to go back and figure out some of the puzzles. And there's guns I haven't gotten yet, like legendary guns. So, anywho. Where am I at? There's a lot to unpack. That's why I'm like freaking out. What am I talking about? What did I just finish talking about? Leads.
The leads. Yeah.
So yes, you have one for each of those. Now, once you finish everyone's leads, like, oh, they're going to be so-and-so place, so-and-so's place, the game just makes a mission that goes, we got it. It's called Ending It. That's the name of the mission. And you just, hey, go here, kill said person. You're done with this area for this time, for like the morning. And you just, it tells you what to do. Which was very unfortunate. Because at that point, it's like, well, the game is like each area has puzzles and stuff like this. Like I just finished telling Randall, there's some areas I haven't figured out how to get into rooms and stuff. This main story should have been also a puzzle that we needed to figure out. Mm-hmm. And like at first, I'm like, cool. I'm going through the leads. As I was playing, I'm like, all right, so I know this was. I'm piecing it. I'm piecing it in my head. But by the time I finished, by the time I got to like the 3rd or 4th visionary, I'm like, are they just gonna tell me where everything is? Because I'm like, okay, Alexi is like with the guy with the wolf face, and he hosts a party at night, and I'm like, okay, Alexi's gonna have to be there. Because any information I found about Alexi, he's always held up in his house, and he throws the party. I'm like, he's gonna have to be there. And then there was a lead that I found that I'm like, oh, Igor's doing this another visionary that likes messing with his satellite stuff. And then there was a mission of like, oh, find out about his machine. And I'm like, and then Colt picks up something and reads and like, oh, I can fuck with his machine. I'm like, well, if he fucks with the machine, where's he gonna be? And then as soon as that happens, like, oh, if I go fuck with the machine, he's gonna be sad and go to the party. Cause no, that's not how. That's after I already found out that was gonna happen. Like you'll find like text messages between him and Alexi because Alexi invites him over and he's like, no, I'm busy working on the satellite stuff. So when I destroyed it, I'm like, okay, now he has no choice but to go, correct? So in my head, I'm like, let's do that. And then I think once it's the game realized that you found all the evidence that supports it, a cutscene plays of like, which is really cool, really coolly animated. You saw like some of the things and like classic cartoon stuff, and it's like, okay, so there's too much hand holding, right?
Yeah.
For something that's supposed to be puzzles for no difficulty. Like this is stuff we should. That was a big gripe because I'm like,
they should have at least like tied it to if there was different difficulty settings.
Yeah,
like depending on what difficulty, they will help you less and less and less. You know
correct.
what I mean?
Like the amount of hand holding that this game has, I felt like I was playing it on easy. Because it was
Did you
just.
want it more like Dishonored meets Breath of the Wild, where your Link, hey, you gotta have to stop Ganon, but anything you do between then is your prerogative. You have to figure out how to beat him. Mixed with Dishonored, where that's a bad guy. As long as you get to him, you can you do it your way.
Now it does. So it does the Dishonored thing.
Okay.
But limited, and that's the problem. That's my problem with it.
I guess Hitman was a better example.
Hitman is the what I was hoping for, but first person, like a first person Hitman, because and it has elements of Hitman in there before you figure out how to do it. Because unfortunately, there's only one way to do this, which is another one of my gripes. Once you find out, once the game handles it, this is how you do it. There's no other way. You can't experiment on the order, or maybe I can get him on the morning. Like it will always be this order. You kill Harriet first, sabotage Frank. Second one is I think you sabotage the Igor's satellite things. Third, what's it called? Spoilers, by the way. I'm sorry to spoil it for. Spoilers is the twins, not the twins, the lovers. And then you literally go to his party to kill everything in sight. You can try to lure Alexi out because everyone's wearing a mask at his party. For what? Keep gunning everyone down until it says you killed a visionary, and then you can move on. So it's like, and it's like, why was that the decision made? And don't say accessible because that's not an excuse anymore, right? If people don't like the game because it's hard, they're not gonna play it. That's just well. I'd rather have just people going, too hard for me not playing it, instead of the people who've been waiting for this to be like.
But what's that game that everyone says is really difficult?
The Souls games?
Maybe the Souls games? There's a lot of
games. And don't people love those games?
Well, because they're not handheld. That game is the definition of figure it out.
Those games are literally designed for you to fail.
So you learn from your mistakes. This is like, yes, you can learn from your mistakes, but.
So I'm just saying, like, these people that you're mentioning, like, they can't use that excuse anymore because you have proof that there are other companies who make games, like you guys said,
Hitman, Randall,
are designed for you to fail, but people still love them. So you can't say that, oh, we want it to be accessible and not too difficult. They can't. I'm just saying they can't. If you were in the room having a discussion with them, they cannot use that excuse anymore because there's proof that you can make a game difficult, or like you said, Hitman, where you're just like, figure it out, and it's still successful.
Cover in the chat says multiple ways to break the loop would have given it so much more replayability. That's not my problem with it. My problem was they gave us a scripted puzzle. That's my problem with this game. I think that I just had my eureka moment. The problem with Deathloop, Deathpools, I was gonna say, is it's a scheduled, scripted puzzle. That's not a puzzle anymore. We're learning as fast as you want Colt to learn it, which is us playing it. That's not. Go ahead.
If you let's say, hey, satellite guy, go to the party, whatever. Let's say you shoot him, right? So you finish his arc or whatever.
The party's the last thing of the day. Let me go. There's a lot to unpack. So the gameplay is you start.
And you're tied to the days, right?
Yeah.
Like
so
the time of day. I mean.
Yeah. So here's what happens. This is how the moment to moment gameplay is. The game opens up with you getting killed by Juliana, and you're like, "Oh, bleed out," and you wake up on the beach on the shore somewhere and go, "Fuck, started my day." The game handholds you, whatever. Once the game goes, "All right, figure it out," in quotation marks, 4 times a day: morning, noon, afternoon, and an evening. you have 4 areas: Updam or Updam, the Frigid Rock, the Complex, and I forgot the 4th one. Anyway, let's say we start the day, morning. Which one of these 4 are you going to visit in the morning? I'm going to go Updam. I go into Updam in the morning. This is what Updam looks like in the morning. Updam will look different throughout the day, depending on what time you pick it. So Updam in the morning, you have set things available to you. Carl's Bay, thank you, Cobra. Here's the 4th one. So much to unpack here. Okay, so yeah, you go to morning Updam. You have X amount of things you can do in the morning in this area. Once you're done and you exit the area through the tunnels, time goes forward. You are now in noon. Now, out of these 4 areas, where do you want to go to at noon? If you want to go back to Updam for whatever reason, different enemies are placed different locations. Something might have happened within Updam, like a car crash or something, so the environment might look slightly different. If you prevented something from happening, like let's say someone was using too much electricity and they burned down their house, by the end of the day, you can go and turn off the electricity, and that way now by the end of the day, it's still accessible because it hasn't been burned down. So things like that. So Updam, if you pick Updam again, or Carl's Bay or something, you're going there at that time. That's a different map than Carl's Bay at night, morning, whatever. That's the loop. You cannot go back in time within the day. So if I chose Updam as my morning, I just wasted my morning for that day. Same with, and you keep going until evening. Your actions have consequences in other areas later in the day. Correct. If you mess with some stuff, like electrical or whatever, then it'll happen. Go ahead. After a yawn.
At any point during this, if you get fucking slept, you start over from the beach or just from that day, that part of the day?
Another one of my gripes about this game. So the point of Deathloop is you die, you start over. So on top of the hand-holding for quests, they're like, visionaries have slabs, which is their abilities. One can teleport, one can be invisible, another one's like these are things you'll get as well by killing them and taking their slab. One has like a berserker mode. Juliana has like the best one so far because she's playing the spy. Hers, she can literally hide as whoever, like any of the Eternalists, and then just go and start shooting at you as you're trying to do your shit. Do you know what Cole's slab is? You get
Save.
If you die, you just revert back in time like 10 seconds. Twice. You can do that twice until you die. And it'll replenish if you kill either Juliana or a Visionary, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Why give me that? The point of this is to have the stakes high at all times. That's what a roguelike's supposed to be. So why give me these safety nets? I could have used that slot for another slab.
Yeah, if they would have made that just a general mechanic the way Hades uses like lives, I feel like it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
So you're saying instead of rewinding 10 seconds, you
Dead.
should literally start over.
Yes, because that is the narrative.
Yeah.
There's cutscene spoilers. You meet other cults who are somehow in your timeline, which would
His
make
name's Cole or Colt?
Colt, Colt. Sorry.
Like the pistol.
Yes. Which is the thing that's possible because of one of the visionaries that are in the show. Like she brings in other of her in the show. Sorry, like if this was a TV show, I would have watched it because the characters are cool. They have different like weird timeline shits that's happened. I like time travel stuff and timeline shit, so I would have watched the show. What was her name? Was Wenji? I think was That's wrong, Anthony. Is it Wenji? She's a doctor, and she brings in other Wenjis from other timelines to help her with her studies.
We're still talking about the game?
Yes.
Okay.
That's one of the visionaries.
Okay.
I mean, Cobra will correct me, because I mean, me and him played the shit out of it this week, so. Think, Anthony. What was I talking about?
With the Wenjis.
The reprise. It's called reprise.
Yeah. Oh.
Wenji. It is Wenji. Anyway. So, yeah. I didn't like that. And then there's no option to remove it. So there's times where I've gotten killed by Juliana, but then isn't it rewind time? It just like teleports you to like a safer area. And all I do is, okay, you bitch, I know where you're at now. Reload and quickly run to Juliana and go kill her. Because I'm like, she's around this area.
Mm-hmm.
And that defeats the purpose of being hunted. Like, at
It's
that
like
point,
they try to do a safe roguelike then.
there's the amount of handholding and safeness in here is my problem.
Okay.
It's
If you were, my interest was rising because I was like, this sound like a roguelike, which is why I asked if you died, if it goes back. If you would have said yes, I would have installed it.
my next thing has to do with what roguelikes do. And Cobra mentioned it earlier. With this Residium, you pick, like, let's say you find someone's weapon, like a legendary weapon, you have to use Residium to keep it between loops. I got to the point where I was just buying random shit because I made my build. I didn't have to find it again. I didn't have to, like, that would be, there's no randomization there. If you kept it with just, bro, good luck looking for the same gun. If they kept, they didn't decide on what to do. Like, make it a random roguelike, this would have increased replayability. Because you're not going to get the same weapons unless you go hunt them down at specific times of day. Like the legendary pistol thing is only accessible, I think, in certain things. If you take the time to do that, then you can be like, oh, now I have this gun for this run. But it didn't do that. So you can just, by the time I finish one area, I have so much Residium, I'm like, I can just buy whatever. I've bought one of each of the purple level for the characters. Like, you can put trinkets on that enhances, like, oh, you can breathe gas and not get hurt. You can double jump. You can use your hack-a-majig to hack a turret from further away. Like, all of those. In your left hand? Yeah, it's called the hack-a-majig. I bought like all of that. So if I load up my game right now, I have almost every character trinket I've ever seen. Because I've had so much Residium. It's like 10K per person, and then once you know the loop, you just farm that. You can just get everything. They'll drop duplicates. Another gripe. UI. You have no idea what duplicates you have from your arsenal. So you might drop, Cobra mentioned this in chat earlier, let's say you spend the Residium to like, oh, these legendary guns, I'm keeping it between loops, and you accidentally sacrifice it for Residium, you do not have that anymore. You need to go and get it again and spend the Residium again. So it's like, what? And it doesn't let you know, hey man, you already have 4 of these. I had to look and, okay, 1, 2, the duplicates I'll sell if I want to, because you can't stack them either, but you can still get duplicates. What
is it like Destiny where you can only have 1 legendary per like gun? And they respect you?
Yeah, they respect. I did one run with the pistols. I have a sniper that's legendary, and then what was my third one? It's like another handheld one. It looks like a toy gun with like a magazine, a red magazine and a blue magazine. It's really weird, but I equipped them all and ran through it, and I'm like, okay.
Do the legendaries feel cool, or is it just like, oh, high stat gun?
They do, but the problem with the game is the stealth mechanics are so easy. All you have to do is look for a gun that says suppressed, and just walk around and one-shotting everything in the head.
That's me in Cyberpunk. You just explained what I did the entire time.
And it's not that it's boring. It's just like,
they should at least make the suppressor realistic, where like it runs out after a certain. If
you have a gun that's suppressed, there's a gun I have that I found that had the perk, when you deal damage with this gun, you heal.
Say that again?
Was it big chunks of health?
It was an SMG. It doesn't matter if it's big chunks. I'll empty and I will unload, and that's how I would heal. If I was nothing heal, I always have that. Once I found that gun, it was a purple gun, and one of the things is called Vampire, and I kept it there. Once I found that gun, I never removed it. There was no need to. I spent the Residium that I had because I've been killing Juliana left and right. And I'm like, oh, I'm keeping this. And now anytime when I was low on health, I just swapped to it and just unloaded until my health came back. And then I swapped to a different gun.
Does Juliana do anything different? Is she always like, she's just anybody, and then when she's fighting you, it's same old Juliana?
No, because they randomize what other slab she has. She can disguise herself as whoever, and then she might have a different visionary's power. So she can go invisible for a bit, or use havoc, or
So it's nothing like her adapting. It's just they roll her in.
They just roll her in.
Oh, it would be cool some stuff like smart Like the Hello Neighbor guy. It'd be cool if they did that with it.
Yeah. And that's the problem. This game would have... The 10s and stuff I'm seeing on the internet, I'm like, they must have played a different build. Like, this game would have been a 10 if they delve into random roguelike. This would have been the game of the year. But they didn't. They just tiptoe in there and then like, oh my god, there's not. I also had a talent on my nail gun that nails would explode after a few seconds. What's the point of that on the stealth gun? Correct. The nail gun is built to be stealth to begin with. And I'm like, oh, this one explodes afterwards? Let me try it. Literally everyone in the room is like, what the fuck was that explosion? I'm like, not using this gun anymore.
Better not be Colt.
He's like, it better not be Colt. I heard that so many fucking times because I didn't know an enemy was there. And oh my god, let's say this is my mic is like the car I'm hiding behind, right? Like I'm on this side where you can't see on the camera, and the guy's standing here facing this way. I'd accidentally walk out my entire body, and his meter's like slowly rising. I'm like, oh my bad. I just back up behind the car, and it's like, better not be Colt, and then walks over here, and I'm like, get the fuck out, bro. Like, what? You literally saw me walk out, go, oh shit, my bad. Walk back.
I would laugh every time I heard them.
Now that we're making fun of it, yeah. Yeah, Cobra says the same thing. Yep, tired of that sentence. Again, the one
thing about the dude who kept seeing you when you was cloaked.
Okay, so there's a power called Aether that you get from Igor, I think it is. He can go invisible. And he does that because he's a sniper. So he'll go invisible and aim at you, and when he fires, the invisibility goes away because you can't attack people while you're invisible until you get an upgrade that you can do that. You can, like, it'll flash you again. Anyway, but that's like the boss battle for him if you were to do it out of order. Or I guess, no, because he'll still go invisible anyway. Anyway. Hacking turrets and carrying them in a briefcase is cool, though, especially since you can take out their battery and use them for puzzles. Yeah, that's also really inventive, because there's some doors and stuff that are powered by batteries, or the stuff needs batteries. But all the tech in the game uses batteries, unless it's like the cameras that are on the, like, you can't like use them, but like the turret.
A backup battery that needs a battery. What kind of backup is this?
Yeah, like, it was like, what? I'm getting scattered already. I need to stay focused. What were we talking about before all this?
Oh, the dude who can see you while you're cloaked.
Okay. There was an instance where, like, I was at the party. Obviously, that's like how, because the party's at the end of the night, obviously. Fireworks and whatever, the whole shebang. I started a gunfight. And in this, and shout out to just life, right? That's where I'm at right now with this fucking, how torn I am about this game. If you shoot like one or two people and it wasn't with a silenced gun, every single person in that area is coming after you at that party. It is a bloodbath. If you do not do that completely stealth and someone's like, there he is, it better not be Colt. Everyone, Uzis out, shotguns, machete. You are going through a Tarantino last 10-minute movie. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Where it's just, I've never used my healing SMG so many times. It's just like gunfire, run out of ammo. I try to run and pick up somebody else's shit. I'm low on health. I just spray in a hallway and people are just dying and my health is going up. And I'm like, what is going on? Before that, sorry. Cloaked. Thank you. Cloaked. I kill a dude. Some guy, I guess, hears it, or he's on patrol, walks in the... I am in the corner. I have an upgrade for the Aether where if I don't move, it doesn't drain my power. So I'm literally playing spy just in the corner. That fucker walks into the room. I'm taking off my head. Hold on. The audio listener just walks, make believe this square is the room, right? And I'm in that corner over there. That fucker does this. He just... Oh man, better not be Colt. And he just starts shooting at me.
What's the name of the
like, he was it's like a guy who has the wall hack in Counter-Strike, and he's trying to pretend he doesn't know where you're at. And he just walked right to me and started shooting at me. What? And I understand, and the Aether thing is not 100%. Like stealth, like, you know how spy, like, you can kind of make him out if he moves or like you bump into him or something. That's what it's like. So if you get close enough, they'll see you. But I'm telling you, he entered the room and just, there he is. What? Mm-hmm. He tried to fart kill you. It was, and stuff like that. So I'm like, it pulls me out of it. Because when I first started playing through and going through the loops, because obviously I didn't know that it was going to like hold my hand the entire time. I'm like, cool. I found a document that links, Wenji was talking to him about this and this. Like, he hates this. Frank does the fireworks. I'm learning about all the visionaries. I'm like, we're in this. I'm going to figure it the fuck. There's a time, I think it was earlier in my playthrough, Randall sat down and I'm like, yo, I found out about this and this, so I know he's going to be here. I got these guys coming here at night. I'm like, let's go. By the end of it, I'm like, because it's literally just, you finish this objective, here's your next objective. Oh, he's going to be there. And then also the objective markers are just, he's here.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that. So you remember that screen that shows you like I thought those was cards of information that you found out. And you have to like look through all the cards to figure out on your own how to get all these people in different locations. But then at the end of each like line is like, so and so and so and so is gonna be here. Yeah. And so is gonna be here.
But granted, I found that out. Like I had by searching through all the areas. Mm-hmm. And once you get that information information travels between loops. Mm-hmm. But because I'm playing a game, so I'm gonna write it down. Yeah. So then Colt knows, so he knows. Okay, so I know this is the play. And that I just don't know. Like I did. It's one of those, like, the journey was so great learning about, and then once I figured out what they were doing to me, I'm like, I feel disgusted. Right? Like, I'm like,
oh. It's not like he was getting abused.
Because I'm like, I'm going to figure this thing. Because I don't play Hitman games because I'm not smart. I'm walking in there and blasting the target, and if I die, I die.
I've seen it happen. I've seen him walk into a club, walk into the room with the guy, and shoot him in the head, and then walk out.
What the heck, man? What kind of hitman are you?
I didn't get caught.
How is that possible?
Because I waited for him to get into an area by himself, and then I just walked up and shot him and then left. I forgot which hitman it was.
No cameras didn't see you, nothing.
Yeah, but the cameras don't... You dress up as a certain person, it doesn't give you... What's it called? The notoriety. It's like, it's just a regular baker or whatever the hell it is. It's if a person, like, if you get close to them, like, they'll say, hey, that's not...
Yeah, like it was like the manager. He knows his staff.
Yeah, he's like, bro, who the fuck are you? Yeah, yeah, like you don't work here. One, your face looks mad all the time. I would not hire you. Anyway, but
that sucks, bro.
And I can't say I didn't enjoy my time with it because I enjoyed my time with it. The action's great. I love shooting everything, like shooting up the combat's fun. I enjoyed finding out about the visionaries. It's just the landing they did not stick, and then the endings. Oh my god! There's technically 3 endings. 2 of them leads to the same thing.
There's a third ending.
Yeah. So spoilers again for people who are going to play Deathloop. The 3 endings are as follows. There's still more to unpack about this game, but I'm just scatterbrained and frustrated and excited and.
Is it the endings are like right after you kill Wolf Guy, I guess, is the last person, or what?
Yeah, because you have to remember by the end of the night, if you don't kill all the visionaries by the end of the night, the loop starts over. So at the party, once you've massacred every single person, including the visionaries that are taking part in that party, you go to what was it called? Rakita Plan, some shit. I don't know what the hell it was called.
Rack, R-A-K.
Rack something, yeah. And there's like a plane there that you go on and you ship yourself to the center nuclear core, where I guess was the shit go, the final boss stage, right? Ooh, where Juliana's waiting for you. And then she's like, "Yo, I'm unarmed. Come into this room. This magic room takes off your slab. So now if you die, you immediately, some space plane, some shit takes you to some other area that you're in an anomaly room." And then now you're having a face-to-face with Juliana because she's the last person you need to kill before you could try to end the loop. So she's like, there's 2 guns here. which I read somewhere. I think it's an homage to Dishonored. They're like Dishonored pistols from the Dishonored world. It doesn't matter. There's 2 pistols here, and she's like, you can take the gun, and then you can decide to shoot me on 3. It's up to you. So the first time, I didn't know that I had control, so I didn't shoot her. Ending number 1 that I found out. They go on happily, and they're like, oh man, I'll show you the world. Let's go. And they're just friends now. But you continue the loop. So you don't break it. That's one of the endings. Second ending that I did. Then the third one I'll tell you guys after. Second one, she's like on 3, fired. She didn't even say 1. I just blew her fucking head off right there. And then the mission goes, you killed her. All right, now kill the 9th visionary, which is yourself. Because you were also a visionary before you were trying to break the loop. So I'm like, how do I kill myself? Because you lost the gun for some reason. I guess I had 1 bullet. So I jumped off the platform. And the whole thing happened. Whoa. And you just start the next loop. He literally goes, oh, no. What happened was what? Never mind. I wake up and she's holding a gun at you because she lets you know, hey, I wake up before you normally on these loop days. So she's like, if you kill me and this does work, I'm just going to go over there and shoot you in the mouth. And I'm like, well, okay, bet. You wake up and she literally has a gun to your fucking face. And then she's like about to kill you. And she's like, and walks away and teleports. And he's like, Juliana. And then he goes, did it work? Okay. Credits. That was ending number 2 when I shot her. The first one was the loop. Third one that I found out today is after you shoot her, you can look at the couch that you were sitting on previously, sit back down, and then once time hits midnight, the loop starts over. So nothing. You can sit down, and instead of killing yourself, you just wait it out. Because by the end of the day, if all the visionaries aren't dead, which is you included, it'll just do the loop again. And the thing that bothers me the most is the game addresses one of my problems. When you're having the conversation with Juliana, she's like, I'm pissed off because you're not asking me about anything. You're not asking me about the loop, about the other cults. You're not asking me about how we got here. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a crazy ass cutscene. I'm going to get a lot of answers. None of that. The question she was saying, I'm like, yes, please tell me more about what the fuck's going on. None of it. You just get killed. It landed so flat. I'm like, what happened?
Oh my god! I think I know what they're gonna do. DLC, you play as Juliana, you actually get the answers.
Brian, you can play Juliana in this game.
At first, but not
story based.
That's what I'm saying.
But you can just go in and shoot things. Like what?
Well, that's not what I just said then.
You want to you're thinking they're gonna put
a
narrative?
What I want. I'm assuming they're gonna do a whole narrative DLC so that you actually get answers.
Yeah, and that's my problems with the narrative because like Cobra in the chat, there's just too many questions that's not answered, and there's only a certain way to do that, where it's like, oh, you didn't answer this question, so now I want to speculate. Like MCU does that with the whole Kang thing. Mm-hmm. Now that everything's busted wide open, bro, what now we can speculate. Now there's multiple timelines, whatever. Spoilers for Loki, and we can start speculating. This is like, fam, they could write anything. What happened? Who? What? You get hints and stuff like by documents you pick up and things like that, but it's right. Like
how did this get a 10?
I don't. That is why I'm just so aware.
I might have to read the reviews and see what they say.
It's like they played until halfway through it, and they're like, "This game is lit," and then just wrote the review. Because anything about this loop, it's not a loop. It's like you're just you have another life. You don't lose shit after a while. I get to the point I'm just throwing Residium everywhere. I'm like, oh, whatever. If I lose 30 grand of it, fuck it. Who cares? Because it doesn't. I already got the gun I want and I use that I'm most comfortable with. The game doesn't force you to try new things. If you lose everything on death and also not give me 2 other chances to stay alive because that defeats the fucking purpose. When I'm dead. What kind of fucking slab is that? Reprise? No. Don't do that. And then, new weapon. that's been left or something. Like, who are the other cults? Different versions of the timeline. How did they get to mine? What are we? Hello? Oh, a plus side though, I did enjoy before they pulled me along until they told me how to kill and when to kill and why to kill. The levels are designed very well. There's a bunch of buildings you can go in and out of. There's a lot of secret. That's like I was saying earlier about the Hitman stuff. You know how Hitman, there's like 80 different ways to get to your target. Mm-hmm. Each of those levels are just like that, and depending on the different type of day, different things open up or close, etc. Because things are happening on the island. Which I thought was really cool. Verticality is also, you can like teleport on the rooftops if you want to, or go in between, like if you're trying to run away from. There's not a single moment I needed to run away from anyone. Even when it's, and that's another thing. Oh my God, don't tell me when Juliana's hunting me.
Oh, that sounds
like
silly.
That to me was worthless. Like, I get it the first time because it's like a tutorial. Be on the lookout. The second it says Juliana's on the hunt, I'm like, there's 10,000 reprise I'm going to get for free. I know you're here. So I'd look for someone who's not moving correctly, and whoever decided to, even if you have subtitles on, don't show Juliana saying the things she's saying. There's one time I'm like, oh, Juliana's on the hunt. I got to look out for her. And before I heard her voice, the thing came up and said Juliana, what she said. And then I heard her say it. I'm like, oh, she's literally near me somewhere. And of course, I see it. I see one of the NPC, because she's disguised as one of the NPCs, or not the NPC, the enemies. That fucker's beelining towards me. I just unload and thank you for the 10,000 reprise and the extra upgrade for my slab, right? She was almost always straight in your face. Yeah, and it's like...
Is the voice acting and like the character designs good?
Yes, that is good. The Juliana stuff, Cole has some really funny lines. The performances is, again, the problem I have is the gameplay. Everything else they did, nice polish, except the way it ended was whatever, but character designs, characters' backstories, like Wenji having different timelines of people, every visionary's like ambitions and stuff were thought out, made sense. Voice acting for each of the people too, cool, believable. Like, they sound like the type of characters they are. Alexi sounds like the Alexi person. Igor sounds like an Igor. Like, everything sounded correct. It's just right. And that's another thing you mentioned about the loading screens, Brian. This is one island, and I get it. It's probably because of mechanics, like, oh, you can only go to this area on the morning and stuff like that. Open world, right? That would have helped make this game more dynamic in some way, where it's like, oh, I don't have to do this scripted puzzle to figure out where they're gonna be.
I don't know, man. I'm hearing you describe it. It sounds like it would have been amazing as a roguelike.
If they leaned into it. They're like, oh, we'll do something. Hey, we'll loop it like a roguelike, but then they can slowly just make it into a regular game. They have all the guns and they have all the upgrades, and they can just make a build and play. No.
As we see with Returnal as well, you don't need a short, quick in and out roguelike either.
No, you can just go in there.
That's why. But when they announced this game, I saw it and I'm like, I'm kind of sad that I was right. I'm like, this looks pretty meh. And then it seems like by your review of it,
and I don't know if it's nitpicking or just my expectations were too high. Like,
because I'm not a FPS person because I'm not good at FPS games. But if they had did it the way we're talking about it should have been done, I would have even installed this.
Oh.
But
because it would have been another like Hitman type of thing where it's like you can do so
I like
many
the
things.
whole idea of like trying to figure out how to take these people out, you know?
But you're not figuring it out. You're literally just being told, go here and find out more information on how to do this. Oh, you found out? All right, make sure to come back on morning for it tells you exactly what time to go and look for it. It's too much of it.
Yeah. And the whole idea where you said like once you get bodied, you should start over. Like, I agree with that.
I don't know why they gave me 2 extra chances. No. The point of this, if I die, I start over and I fucking lose my guns. which that's depending on what gun is infused. And it's like,
Are
don't.
the enemies bullet sponges?
No, they play by, I think, depending on the weapon, obviously, but every single one. That's another gripe. Thank you, Brian. Enemy types, non-existent. Everyone's the same one. The only thing that's different is what gun they have in their hand. Because all of them, I can one shot in the head.
I don't really think I see anybody take cover. They just all like beeline towards you.
No, they do take cover.
They do?
They do take cover. They, like the AI, once they're in combat mode, they do like cookie cutter
Combat
stuff.
things.
Oh, go hide behind cover for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
If they see that Colt
they
is not
even do
moving,
any type of flanking?
yeah, they do flanking and they'll throw grenades if they have it. But like, by the time they think about doing any of that, Randall, domed, one shot down. So it's like, if there was enemy types, like a beefy fucking Eternalist or something with armor that I can't just go in there shooting, like I have to disable him with like an EMP or something. I have a grenade that has 4 forms. I used one, which is it explodes.
What are the other 3?
No idea, Randall. I know there's 4 different types for the grenade. I have no idea what they do. I completely forgot. Why? Because the game didn't ask for me to use it. There's no need for me to use it. The game doesn't make you have to use it. Randall, in Batman Arkham Asylum, I have to jump over the shield, guys.
You have to use everything they show.
You have to use everything. That's why they put it in there. Here, there's stuff where it's like...
With Arkham, they even let you, if you wanted to fight using certain gadgets, you could.
That's true. Oh, Cobra knows them. Proximity grenade and trip mine are the other 2 modes. Not once did I swap over. Didn't need to.
How to trip mind?
Laser trip mine. Didn't need to. Oh, and Randall, apparently, if I walk slow enough, I can disarm the mines. Right. The amount of times my stupid ass heard a beeping and I'm like, where is it? And kept moving forward and exploded. Beyond compare. Because I'm dumb. But that's a me problem. That's not a game problem.
That's funny.
Did they have like legendary melee weapons too, or is it just a mechanic?
Another gripe. There's a slot for melee, and all you can do is look at it. Unless there's a melee weapon somewhere that I can swap to, you can't even swap melee. So you just have that fucking thing.
The sword looking thing?
Yeah. The machete, I think it is.
Machete.
There's also a trinket to hack the mines. Yeah, I have that equipped. The build that I have is so dumb. Like, it's mine I have is like, there's one where you can hack things from 2 miles away. I have another one, a trinket, where it hacks it almost immediately. Like, the time it takes to hack is no problem. And now I can hack all the mines and explosives. And all I do is walk around with the hickamajig thing, hit the radar thing. Oh, that can be hacked. Hack it. And then anyone that's there, just shoot them in the mouth. Like, and again, when there's a lot of enemies, it's fun to like just shoot for a couple seconds, but then you're back to the exploring and finding out what the visionaries like about them was the best part. Until I realized that it's just a scripted puzzle, and I don't like that.
That's sad, man.
And then again, once Residium was introduced, I was that's like this because introduced early, like you do like a tutorial thing and early, and I'm like, oh, this is if I can just infuse things between loop, there's gonna get to a point where I don't need to like this Residium becomes used. You know, like the cache in Borderlands, Brian, where it's like a bajillion cache we have because it's fucking useless. That's what Residium turns into. Because you can grab it around the world, like you'll see like a tire or a flask that's glowing, and you can absorb Residium from it.
Sounds like they should have limited you to like one wearable and then one gun that you can take with you.
Shoot for a couple seconds, and then, oh, hey, the map is empty now. Yeah. And you can just run around, because they don't respawn them until you like leave and come back or something. But then at that point, it's a different time of day for that map. So yeah, there's some like foundation design choices here that I'm like, I don't get it. Like they maybe tried to do it open world and like do the Hitman style and have like everybody on the same map, and maybe that didn't work out, and this was their way of like consolidating. I don't know, but yeah, I don't even know if I recommend it. I enjoyed my time with it, but again, I paid for it, so this is kind of like a buyer's remorse kind of thing. Like I need yes, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed parts of it, but I can't. Like, if Randall didn't watch me play, I couldn't recommend it to him because Hitman does what this wanted to do better.
So it like pulls from too many things to do what it wanted to do.
And that's why I'm torn. It wants to be too many things. It didn't commit to any of them. And that's why I'm like, yeah, if you want a stealth experience with depth, Hitman. That's the best in its class. You want a roguelike? Hades, Dead Cells.
Are there any first-person roguelikes?
Yeah, Gunfire.
But I mean like Dead Cells and Hades pace.
I mean, Gunfire can be pretty quick.
I don't know. That I don't put it under that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, if you go to Steam Early Access, I'm sure there you'll find a bunch. So, I mean, as much as it pains me to say Deathloop, I enjoyed my time with it because I enjoyed the aesthetics. Again, the journey was better than when I had time to think of what I just played.
Side note completely. To the devs out there, give me a Doom or what's it called paced, Wolfenstein or Quake paced roguelike first person. Give me that with a bunch of different weapon types and things, and you'll have me.
Maybe RoboQuest. I haven't played it yet, but it's my wish list. It's like a 2-player roguelike. That's also why I said earlier that the price for the game is not correct. At $30, it would be easier to recommend. Cobra, I'm not at the point where the money doesn't need. I can't recommend this to be like. Again, the journey was cool, but then that ending falls so flat. And then once you take a step back and look at these systems that they put in place, they either contradict or they don't. Like, what are we doing? We can't stick to one cohesive, like, moment-to-moment gameplay here. Like, as much as I like running around God mode killing things, that breaks this narrative, which is supposed to be like, I got to get this right. I got to figure out how to kill the Visionaries. The Visionaries need to be like a boss battle, right? But then they turn out to just have a little more health than the Eternalists, and you can also just, if you stealth kill them, they die. You stealth kill them, like they die immediately, and it's like, okay, well, I did it without them knowing. But I even at $30, I don't know if I can recommend it. Right? I haven't played as Juliana yet. I might do that on stream to just see how that works out. And
is it story based?
Fuck with other players?
No, you just join. If I play as Juliana, I'll take the place of Juliana in somebody's level. So let's say you started playing, and I go join a friend's thing, and you're playing. I'll just join yours and try to kill you, or I can just help you and just kill shit for you. But Randall, best believe I'm going to try to kill you. Okay? Because it's easy for you to kill me. Because if you see an Eternalist just running around on the rooftop or something, like, you have to play the part. Otherwise, you'd be like, that's Anthony, right?
Yeah,
like, that's... Yeah. At that point, it just becomes a 1v1.
You know it's me, because as I'm spawning, you hear I'm going to shoot in the air 3 times.
Oh, shit.
And then from there, you know that I'm coming for you.
Cobra's, I think, is on the same boat as me. He did enjoy the ride, but the game also has very clear and big flaws. Told my friends to not play football. Okay. That's what happened to me. Like, as I was playing it, like, it was Friday night, Saturday night. I'm like, I'm in. Even after I figured out, like, oh, they're kind of like hand-holding me, I'm like, but whatever, let's see where the story goes at least, right? Because, like, oh, does it, like, I want to know, does it end? Mm-hmm. What happens afterwards? You don't get answers. It's like, oh, I guess it worked. Okay, credits. I don't know, man. Like, did it on purpose so they can expand it on DLC or something? Like, I don't.
That's bad, though, man.
Yeah, like, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think they did.
I don't like that.
Because with Dishonored, their DLCs were like a whole different part of the game, wasn't it? It was basically like standalone DLCs.
Yeah, because Prey added Moon Crash, and that was like their own. It's not roguelike, but it's like their own arcade thing where you can like go in and just kill a bunch of stuff and get through things. So we'll see.
I think that's the way they're trying to do. You're gonna get answers from Juliana or something, or DLC.
Yeah.
Or I guess this can be like a prequel DLC. What led to the that's how they end the DLC. You'll be right in front of Colt.
That's what make. But if they do that, it just makes me feel like you played this game for no reason.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not for no reason. Because again, like, I was thinking about this game. I played it the first time on stream Tuesday. Like, yeah, the narrative thing is like, what happened? I did want to keep playing. That's my thing. Like, I enjoyed my time with it. I enjoyed shooting around, like loading into a new area, like all of that. I'm like, okay, I'm having a good time here. But it's taking a step back and be like, yo, do you now need to spend $60 to play this? I can't, I can't say go do that, right? Because that $60 can go to Far Cry. That $60 can go to what's coming out next month.
No,
Far Cry, Metroid or something like, or Back for Blood. Which that one, we'll see how that turns out too. But like, what other big game? Resident Evil 7 or Village.
Is that gonna be on Game Pass?
Back for Blood, yes.
Okay, so good. I don't have to buy it. If you like fighting games, the new Melty Blood comes out on the 30th of this month.
Oh, okay.
The new who?
Melty Blood, the anime fighting game, kind of.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of Under Night in Birth?
Yeah.
You mentioned it.
It's similar to that.
Yeah, it's one of those things I hope, again, we live in an age where things can get patched and they can add new modes or new DLC or something. This can, like, I don't know. We'll see.
When you, like, all this, man.
There's too much negative. There's too much negative that outweighs the positive. Like,
what? What's so funny?
Your sentence, I agree with you.
I don't get it, bro. I'm confused.
On what? Wait, what Brian said or laughing at?
No, I'm just based on everything that you've been telling me. Is just like, I don't understand how you could like be so close to making such a great game, and then you just, it's almost like you ever see that picture on Instagram? It's like it's two guys and they're like digging underground, and one guy stops just before it's like a whole bunch of diamonds. It's like literally a whole bunch of diamonds on the other side. If he just dig like another 1 foot, but he just decides to give up and turn around. That's what it feels like with this game. Like, this game has so many good elements in it, but like they was just like, nah, we're not gonna do that.
They didn't get the diamonds.
Yeah, for me, it feels like this game. There's you know how, again, Loki. There's a nexus point where this game was this year's game. Like, for me, everyone's saying, yeah, Game of the Year contender. Not me. There's a nexus point where there was a meeting where they're like, should we do this open world? Should we lean into rogue? Like, everything we're saying, that was probably put on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And something happened, either in development, maybe they don't have enough cash to make, something happened where they went this route. But there is that nexus point, man. There's a timeline where we got what I'm talking about.
I hate to be the guy who says this, but I strongly feel this way because I feel like it happens in the movie industry. But I feel like the person who pulls the strings, who has the last say so, is the one who usually ends up destroying the game.
Oh, most likely, maybe, yeah. Because I mean, they're the head honcho, so they decide what they go yay or nay.
And I feel like I could be wrong totally, but I feel like it's somebody who doesn't really understand gameplay or games, or really even maybe don't even play games that much themselves, but they're in the business to make money. And they're looking at it in terms of like, oh, we can make money off of this, blah, blah, blah. Like, if Brian is right, they're probably thinking of, if we do this, then we can come out with another expansion and make money off of this and all this other stuff. Instead of thinking about like the actual story and gameplay and making sure that it's solid. This game could have been like, I would have bought it. If everything we said should have been in the game, I would have been in it. After this podcast, I would have bought it.
I'm going to kill Igor and fuck Wenji. Actually, Wenji's the coolest one. She brought other timelines of herself to further the research, man. Look, come on. I'm either Wenji or Alexis, which is the party dude at the end with the mask.
I could see you being Alexis.
Actually, I think Brian's Alexis because he's like, he makes music and stuff. So Brian's probably Alexis. Or Alexi. I think it is. Anywho, again, I enjoyed my time with it. I cannot recommend someone else to go buy $60. I think the most I can do what is it? The olive branch? Hopefully someone gifts you this game on sale. That's what I can recommend. I hope someone gives you this game as a gift, but they paid for it like on sale. And that's when I'm like, okay, maybe, you didn't spend money, let's give it a shot, right? Aesthetically, it looks great. I mean, the voice acting's awesome. It's just crucial gameplay choices, some UI design changes, like managing those trinkets and stuff. It's like it doesn't work out. What else? Did I miss anything? This was a huge, long rant of review. I was looking
Is
forward
the
to
pizza
this.
better or worse?
I mean, Brian, again, it could be expectations as well. Because, I mean, when I saw this game announced and they told me what you had to do to finish this game, I'm like, I'm bad at Hitman, but, like, I'm in.
Okay.
Because they showed
that's-
action and, like, how cool you can, like, lift people, shift, and, like, do. I'm like, I'm in. Figure out how to kill these visionaries. They're all assholes. Let's go. And then the way it's structured, it's like, it just it feels old, dated. Like, we're on one island. Make them dynamic. Make it, you're on one island. You can get to one place to another. Like, what are we doing? Right? Go ahead, Ron.
You gotta learn to kill hope.
Kill hope?
Yeah, go in no expectations. As is.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that I guess. I don't. It wouldn't have helped this game because I would have gotten to the same conclusion. I'd be like, oh well, they should have done this, this, and this.
Yeah, but it would have hurt less.
Oh, well, it doesn't hurt. I just
Explain that tier.
What tier?
Explain that tier.
Explain that tier. Oh, they said like what tier is it? I'm like I don't know. So that's Deathloop. If you can get this game gifted to you at half price, play it, right? I don't know, man. I don't want to deprive people of the journey. The journey was so cool until it
Was it?
It was.
I mean, how soon do you find out that they're like giving you a scripted puzzle?
I don't know. That depends on how you explore, how the player does. Because once you start seeing like, okay, we know this, we know this, we know this, and then once we figure out, oh, this is the only way we can do this, and it's like, okay, well then it depends on how much exploring you do. And there's still like a bunch of things in the world, like side stuff. Like there's a bunch of costumes, and I have no idea how to unlock them.
But you're fucking up then, let me tell you.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I need to do to unlock the costumes. So I don't know where, or maybe if I do, I don't know. I just don't know how to unlock those. So there's things I still need to do within like the side stuff, but I don't know. Half price would be acceptable for me right now, but get it in a year or so for like $15-20. Yeah, they usually go on sale pretty deeply discounted. And that's it. I mean, I've been wrestling with that since like Saturday. Was it Saturday? Or did I beat it yesterday?
Yeah.
It was yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably why. Load off my chest. That Deathloop.
Like load on your chest.
Yeah. Hopefully. And that's that, people. That's this week's episode. We have let's close it out with some releases this week. And what we're doing. And that's about it. For games this week, we got Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. It looks like an action adventure game I've actually been looking forward to as well. It's very like stylized, animated movie type of thing. I don't know much about it besides that because I've only seen some trailers. I don't think I've seen that much gameplay on it. Kenna, Bridge of the Spirits. It's on consoles and PC.
From the little bit I saw when they announced it, it looked like if one of those animating companies, like not Pixar quality, but like
DreamWorks
one of those,
or something.
Yeah, like a DreamWorks saw someone play Horizon Zero Dawn and like, let's make our movie play like that.
Oh, okay. So I might give this a shot, but we'll see. Because it's coming out on console as well.
And PC.
But but I don't think it's on Steam. I think it's an Epic.
It says Microsoft Windows. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but
Epic, yeah.
Yeah, it's only Epic. So I'm not going to buy it on PC if it's just Epic. I have Steam, right?
It looked interesting, but I have too many things to neglect already.
Yeah. Diablo 2 Resurrected comes out this week, which it's a shame what happened with fucking Blizzard, but I would have supported them.
What happened with Blizzard?
They're having like a huge lawsuit / like workers thing and harassment thing, like with the sexual harassment and stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna buy anything from them for a bit because they need to tighten up. And I was looking forward to playing this, but Torchlight 4 it is. We're not gonna go on the rant. And then Death Stranding director's cut, because the first cut wasn't enough. Anyway, moving on to movies. I didn't find anything on there, Randall. So I don't know if you took a look through the list. I didn't see anything that I've been waiting for.
I didn't look either.
There's a bunch of movies. I mean, I can just list out the movies, I guess, if you guys.
I've still only seen, adding Luca to my top 10.
Yeah.
I've only seen 8 movies this year.
Oh wow. What do I think I have
That I
one
liked.
after that.
8 movies that I liked, I should say.
Right. Because you don't keep track of. Well, go watch
Nope.
Bull Burnham then. That'll be your 9th one.
That's what I keep meaning to do, and something else makes me forget how much time I have on my
I'm
weekend.
trying to see what else I have on here that I can recommend to you to watch. You still haven't seen Raya, right?
I haven't seen it, no.
Watch Raya and watch Bull Burnham Inside. There's your 10.
I'm going to watch La La Land.
No, I
Oh,
mean, that's
good.
Reynolds. I remember Reynolds didn't like in the
I like the movie, but I don't like the ending.
Oh. I kept clicking on the same thing. I'm so sorry. For the movies coming out this week, Clairvoyant, Intrusion, Mayberry Man, Dear Evan Hansen, Apache Junction, Birds of Paradise, Courageous, East of the Mountains, I'm Your Man, Lone Wolf, My Little Pony, A New Generation. Okay, let's get it. On These Grounds, Solitary, The Starling, This Is the Year, and Through the Glass Darkly.
These are movies?
Yeah. And
What the fuck?
what's wrong?
Did you look at the albums?
I saw it earlier today. Did they add more?
Go to the last one for this week.
William Shatner, yeah. I don't know he sang. Well, he has an album coming out called Bill. I didn't put it on there because I'm like, I don't know if that's the William Shatner of the Trek, right? Like, so I didn't click on it, but let's double check. I don't know.
Yeah, it's him. I clicked the name and it's describing him.
Okay, well, he has an album coming out, but the one I put down on the doc was Alicia Cara because that's one of those artists that she's been featured in some stuff, and then she had her own little projects that I liked. So she has her album coming out in the meantime. I think it's her 3rd one. And that's all I got. Randall, for wrap up, what you doing this week, right? Not playing Deathloop.
No, I wish.
Maybe Hitman.
I keep saying that I need to beat Returnal.
Then play it. Then just play it. Like, right? Brian, tell him. Just play it.
Play it already, Jack. Fuck.
You aren't going to beat it if you don't play it. That's for certain. Like, me and Brian say it's hard and you might not beat it, but you're definitely not going to beat it if you don't play it.
Look, if he beats it or not, it's up to him. But
The game?
priority, yeah. If he beats off or beats the game, either one, it's up to him.
God.
I'm just saying, if the games with an absolute ending,
Yeah.
I would prioritize those if you have those in your backlog. If you have nothing, like let's say you did finish Metal Gear Solid 5, then I would say then just go into Returnal.
That's true. He hasn't even done Phantom Pain yet.
I started it. I think I'm like 50% of the way, but it doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel like a Kojima game.
That's fair. Then you should play a Kojima game, Death Stranding.
No.
Why not?
Director's cut's coming.
The
dude.
director's
If I
cut.
was going to play a Kojima game, I would go back to like Snake Eater or Sons of Liberty or something like that.
You know what's funny is I had bought that MGS collection on PS3, only played MGS2 on it, and I've never
Right.
played Snake Eater.
Snake Eater was a fun one.
I really like. Oh, let me play this whole collection. Literally only played 2.
2 was good too, though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I mean, I say play, like Hitman because that definitely has a definitive ending.
I've definitely been milking that because I love that game. So I'm kind of like.
You have 3 games to go through because
I'll play
Hitman
them.
1, 2, and 3.
Well, I'm playing the newest one. I haven't.
You can import those old maps from 1 and 2 into 3's engine.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
You just have to own it, and then you can
and
play.
it's part of the story.
Yeah, it's all one story, and then you can play those
Oh
old
my
maps.
god! And I can play with these graphics.
Yes.
I wish I had known that.
Did I not mention it on?
No,
when we
like-
talked about it.
I know you
I feel
told
like
me.
it's been said.
Yeah, it's been said that because I remember getting the first 2, but I did not know that you can implemented into the new game.
Yeah, they released a patch for it where you can just load in. They like rework some of the maps and stuff. So like the added features like the bushes that they introduced in 2 or 3, you can now do it in the old Hitman 1 maps and things like that. They just pushed it forward.
Oh, well, I will get to work on that then. Because I've been milking that game, man, because I love it and I don't want it to end. So
yeah. If you haven't finished 1, 2, and 3, you can
of it at a time.
Okay.
Games are fun. I never played the reboots, but the original ones, yeah.
The attention to detail is just phenomenal, man.
Like I said, it's why Brian's right. It hurts. It's why Deathloop's fucking it like you had examples on how to do it right.
Yeah.
And it's like
kill Hope.
You keep saying that. I keep thinking of Hope from 10, Final Fantasy 10.
That him too.
When he says Hope, I keep thinking of Hope from Ant-Man.
He will never say kill Hope. Randall, I can see that right now. That, if Brian says that, that's a variant.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you unlock the costumes by playing PvP. Okay, that's why. I haven't done the PvP yet.
Shout out to Hope Van Dyne from the MCU, and shout out to Evangeline Lilly.
Shout out to Puzzles.
I think I love you.
Who was the second person?
Evangeline, the girl who plays Hope.
Oh, that's her real name?
Evangeline, what's her last name?
Evangeline Lilly.
Evangeline Lilly, that's what it was. Anyway, so that's all you got, Randall? Hitman 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, I'll probably play some Hitman this weekend.
Try Strive. I don't know if you buy it or not.
I need to install it. Thank you for reminding me.
I haven't bought it yet.
I keep forgetting to install it. That's why I haven't purchased any games
because I have games that I haven't beaten yet, and I feel like I can't justify buying a new game when I have games I haven't beaten.
And then you did the worst thing ever is subscribe to Game Pass.
Yeah.
So now you have even more.
Well, I use that as an incentive to like beat those games so I can play the newer games.
You did the second worst thing too. You bought a roguelike.
Yeah, Returnal's gonna take some time. At least you didn't do the most egregious. It's by JRPG.
Like what?
So speaking of that, playing roguelikes for me, I have Game Pass and I bought Tales of Arise.
Brian literally hit you with the 3.
And in the last one, I'm playing a fucking live service game.
Destiny 2, yeah. So Brian's literally he's pushing himself to the corner. Like he's just walking backwards.
I'm really excited to play Melty Blood when it comes out next week.
He's off screen now. That's how far back he is. He's off the screen. He's not even playing anymore in the fighting game match.
That doesn't bother y'all? That just eats at my core, man.
It annoys me, but as it's annoying me, I'm neglecting it more. So I'm like,
Randall,
why don't I just beat these games as I load up Destiny?
I have a backlog, Randall, but I've been taking it out. Slowly but surely, I'm taking them out. Deathloop, checked, done. I can move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I take it out just very slowly.
Watch Dogs, I'll be reviewing next week. I finally finished Watch Dogs. So I think the next big one I do have to sink my teeth into Cyberpunk because I still haven't finished Cyberpunk.
Isn't it supposed to be like a huge
I'm not gonna wait until I'm 77 years old, right?
I thought it was supposed to be soon.
Randall,
or recent, or maybe it already happened.
That wound is still bleeding. All right, like it hasn't healed yet.
Kill Hope.
Like how they handled Jackie was just a spit in the face. It really was.
How they handled the story was a spit in the face.
I haven't gotten that far yet, but I might join you on that depending on what happens. Anyway,
I don't like the fact that you, depending on what you do, you still get the same outcome. It's like as far as the beginning, anyway.
Yes, that also was like, then what are we doing, right?
Yeah, because I was trying my best to like do my little kumbaya thing, and then I found out you got the same thing I got, and Brian got the same thing. I'm like, well, what was the point?
There's two different types.
What'd you pick? Because I picked Corpo.
Nomad.
Corpo.
Okay. I went Nomad. Anyway, Brian, what are you doing this week? I think unless you have something else to add, right?
No.
Brian, what you got?
Tomorrow I'm not.
You're not streaming on Tuesday?
Shoot tomorrow.
Okay.
I think my new lights get here, but besides that, I wanted to do things.
Okay.
Wednesday, we're playing some.
Apex. Don't do that. We already said it's already been scheduled. Apex.
There you go. You said it for me. So.
Okay.
Thursday playing more Ender Lilies.
Hey, episode 3 coming.
And then Friday we'll find out together at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right. What will it be? That's gonna be your segment. Okay. Now he's done making
that. That could be the thumbnail if you want.
I need more lighting than that. That was. If I'm gonna cut you out, all I see right now is your fucking neck, right?
Oh no, sorry. Friday's decided. There's Rivals of Ether, the indie platform fighter that plays like Smash.
Yeah.
As of tomorrow, they're doing a rollback netcode beta. You know, because Dragon Ball Fighters and other games, you know, you can add rollback to your games. It's not once your game's out, it's done.
No, when you release things, you can only add skins and the same character.
You can only
remix.
add things that have a price on it, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
You can't.
I see.
Things for free? No, we don't do that.
So on Friday, I was gonna, since a friend of mine mains that game, I was gonna play with him and try out the beta.
Oh, hopefully it works out then.
That's my Friday.
Lit. Alrighty. Streets.
Anthony.
What's up?
What are you doing?
For tomorrow, I don't know, because I wasn't expecting to finish Deathloop within the week, so I was gonna maybe another backlog game. I don't know what. I need to look through my backlog to see what I have to start or finish. But yeah, whatever. I don't know yet for Tuesday, so I'm gonna look to see what my backlog is looking like, and I'll try that to get through it, and then we'll play it and whatever that is.
Games in my backlog, dude.
Yeah, I mean that's why I have a day dedicated to it, because I gotta get through it.
I do too, but you know what I did? Let me start with a Metroidvania.
I mean, that's a rookie mistake. You can check my channel for all the times I'm like, I shouldn't do big open worlds. Proceeds to do a big open world game as a series. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what game yet for tomorrow, but backlog day. Wednesday we're doing Apex. It's me, Brian, and Javi doing arenas. I forgot to silence that. That's my fault. Yeah, we're doing arenas, so checking that out. I mean, I played it before. Brian, I think, played a bit of it. And then Javi's doing it for the first time, so we'll see if he enjoys it or not. And then Thursday, no idea what me and Jan are playing. Maybe more Destiny 2, but maybe there's something else we can just load up and play. We'll check. And then Friday, there's no stream, so lit. We'll be back next week then. A new episode of the ADLR Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night. Bye.